What is going on, guys? If you're still here, thank you for sticking around. I think we were able to fix it. It looks we have a TV that's actually showing the stream out here, and it looks like it's like all the fuzziness is gone. It looks like it's running pretty well. Please let me know if it's not. Danny saw it. Looks good, right, Danny? Stream's looking good. All right, so you synced it. All right, so that being said, thank you guys so much for hanging out. That being said, we did lose some viewers from like cutting the stream. So if you can, please again share the link. Get this up to double-digit viewers. Let's get some people in here watching. Get some chatters going. It's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, so we got Evan on Briar. We got another Briar to show you, but we do have what's supposedly the Briar killer, which is Oldham, Ice Oldham specifically. So Vincent's like cards of choice. It's the one thing that I think is really interesting here is the Snapdragon scalers. Not really sure what that is for. I don't know what Guardian really likes to use Snapdragon scalers on. Uh, Normally, I think you'd go with like something like a Mage Master boots, or you use the instead of using the Arcane gloves, the Arcane Barrier gloves, you'd use like the Arcane Barrier boots instead of the Snapdragon scalers. Really, just a curious inclusion there. Hopefully, we get to see him use them. We kind of see like what the decision was there. So interesting enough, we did see the Endless Winter come down. We do have an Awakening. This card is actually pretty crazy. Awakening, I'm just gonna bring it up for you guys. Awakening is actually a really cool card. Not one that a lot of decks are running. It's an instant, and it makes a lot of embodiment tokens. Or not embodiment tokens. It makes a lot of seismic surge tokens. Don't know why that save's so fuzzy, but here we go. So if you have less life than an opposing hero, create seismic surge tokens equal to the difference. And if Awakening was fused, you actually create that many times two. And then search your deck for a Guardian attack that costs less than or equal to the amount of seismic surge tokens you control. You do that in order, so of course you're going to create all those seismic surge tokens first, and then yeah, you search for pretty much at the life difference they were at, which I think was 4 at the time. You search for any card, and then your next turn it's basically free. Um, Considering all those seismic surges will pop at once, pretty nuts card. Now, one of the things that this deck is supposed to do against Briar is that it's supposed to create enough ice disruption that the Briar deck that doesn't really like pitching is going to be forced to pitch or block with cards. And we just see a Snow Under um, fused with a Channel Lake Frigid. This is super strong here. I think it comes in for 7. I do like the pace that he is playing at. That's really big for these Oldham players to kind of get used to. You kind of really need to know what your turn's going to be before you even have it. A lot of times the joke with Oldham right now is that you don't really finish your games, which of course is not great. You need to finish your games. I wonder if I make this bigger. It's probably going to make this worse, but then I can... Yeah, just trying to get a little more clearer picture for you guys. And then we see just Evan coming in with the crazy turn. He's going to play a plunder run into a captain's call, making that embodiment and a snatch with go again. It's kind of something I talked about with Ryan's deck. Is just the snatch with go again just feels so strong. And of course, Vincent just took all of it. And wow, this deck just doesn't stop humming, right? So we're going to see the Ravenous Rabble come in for 4 damage and go again. And Vincent just choosing to maybe block with 2. There's no on-hit effect here, but really it's just kind of like how much damage can you leak. These Briar decks are just so strong and so powerful. Why take Blood Debt when you can do this? That's right. Why take Blood Debt when you can just come in for about 7, 4, and 4 every turn? And of course, just with the 1 floating, he's going to Rosetta Thorn. He's already played the attack. He's already played the non-attack. Gonna do 2 and 2, and be prepared to hear a lot of this going into Nationals. You're gonna hear a lot of Rosetta Thorn for 2 and 2. Evan just saying, I do not care what you do. You gave me a Frostbite. It doesn't really affect me too much. I had to pitch a card. And you know what? You making me pitch a card actually made me have to pay for Rosetta Thorn, which I don't really like doing anyway, but I had the resource floating, so I'm just going to throw it at you anyway. And we just see a pitched Toma Fiendo for a Embolden? Not Embolden. Seismic Surge or something? The one that gives +5 if it's a red Earth card. Earthlore Surge. I knew there was a Surge in there. And yeah, really just Vincent having to throw out the hammer. Evan gives up 1 card, and then watch, this turn's gonna probably still be pretty silly. We see the red ball lightning, threatening 4 damage basically. It comes in for 3, but if it hits at all, it's gonna deal an extra damage. Oh, and hey, Jay Lockwood, thank you for gifting the collective a tier 1 sub. That was super nice of you, by the way. I just saw that, and thank you so much for that. Certainly helps for sure. They run the stream on their TVs now, so it's one less ad they have to watch, so I appreciate that. So yeah, if you ever come to the collective, you can actually see the see the streams live here. Vincent actually playing an interesting defense reaction. It makes you pay 2 or discard a card, and we're just gonna see Evan pay the 2 and kind of pass his turn. Very interesting. Really, at this point now, you're kind of just hoping that as a Guardian, you can still throw enough damage and block enough to where they're not hitting you anymore. I mean, he's at 11. Evan's at 21. So Evan is definitely in the position where he can take damage. You need these powerful on-hit effects to kind of make them want to block it anyway. You need to strip cards. So I believe he played the card that's like you pay 1 or your opponent, you make your opponent pay 1 or they discard a card. And I guess that he just made Evan pay 1 with the Tunic, and then he uses the Tunic and 1 card to block the hammer, so he doesn't get the Frostbite token. And Evan's probably saying like, I probably have game here, or maybe not game, but at least like forcing you to block with what would be game. Shield kind of not doing a whole lot in this matchup. I don't know if I've seen the shield come out at all. We start with the Plunder Run into the Enlightened Strike. We still do have Snapdragon Scalers. That is still an option for us. If you guys are going to Orlando for Nationals, be prepared to see a lot of this deck. Briar is looking very strong, kind of like how Chain was in the last meta before the bannings. This deck is looking really powerful right now. We've kind of seen it on display, right? We've seen a deck that's not really focused on doing crazy amounts of damage still do crazy amounts of damage. I mean, Ryan was wearing Crown of Seeds and everything, and it still was able to just come in with a lot of damage. And we see that Vincent's able to fuse this defense reaction again, getting that other card out of Evan's hand. However, we still are going to leak about 5 damage here. Evan's going to draw a card. He could have chosen the Snapdragon Scalers, but I don't really see the point. Vincent's turn's probably just going to be Hammer Pass. Yep, pitching that Amulet of Ice. Swinging the Hammer for 4. Evan might even just take it. Get the Frostbite. Not really care. He's going to probably just pitch a yellow or something to pay for the 1 Frostbite. I think you really need to make the Frostbite. You need to get like 2 or 3 Frostbites on a Briar to really disrupt their turn. 2 or 3 Frostbites is just really not good for them. I mean, he's going to pitch the blue Captain's Call. Play the red Captain's Call. That's just crazy. Play another red Captain's Call into an E-Strike. Oh, before he E-Strikes, better make sure you get the embodiment of lightning. Don't want to miss any triggers here, guys. Gonna E-Strike. Don't know which one he picked at this very moment. The hammer's still on the chain. They're playing at lightning speed here. You kind of have to against Oldham or as Oldham. Wow, Vincent going all the way to 2. And we're just going to see a Rosetta Thorn for 2 and 2. The only thing Vincent can do at this point is he can block 1 Arcane or he can pitch a blue to block all the Arcane and then block with another card to not die. So I think he messed up here. I think he didn't realize he's still getting hit with the physical. It's 2 Arcane and 2 physical. Yep, and that's it. That's going to be the game. Evan will go to 2 and 0. What a strong showing from this Briar deck. Super crazy, super excited to see it. Who's excited to see more Briar? I mean, it's a a lot of people are like, oh, it's another Runeblade, it's another aggro deck doing well. But to me, at least it's a new deck from the new sets doing well. I was kind of worried when I first saw the fuse mechanic and kind of everything that went along with it, that the fuse mechanic just didn't do enough. And kind of like having to hold cards back in your hand felt really kind of not great. Like, oh, I have to take all this damage because if I want to fuse, then I can't defend with the card because I need it to fuse. But we're seeing that it doesn't really matter. And I'm really happy the stream is working now, guys. Please let me know if it ever like does whatever it did before. All I did was like I replugged in everything, and I just ended the stream and restarted. It seems like it's working well. Looks like it's going up on the TV pretty good. So, yeah, super excited to see that Briar deck. Super, Briar too strong. Yeah, Briar's really strong. Briar is really, really strong, and I hope to see a diverse meta, right? I don't want to go into nationals and literally on stream when I get to my Swiss rounds that aren't draft. It's just, oh, I'm playing against Briar, playing against Briar, playing against Briar. Really annoying, really annoying, really annoying. I don't know. It's interesting, right? I think an Ice Focus Lexi could actually kind of, do some stuff to Briar that she doesn't really like. Evan, I mean, you did Briar things.
Yep.
The deck was wild.
7-4-4 every turn, baby.
7-4-4 every turn. So it's interesting, right? Like I want to kind of see I hope to see a diverse meta in.
No chance.
No chance. Just gonna be Briar, huh?
Yeah. Actually, I really hope not, because as someone who does not want to play Briarmere, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, so Evan, you were just on stream. How'd that go? Were you worried about sitting across from Oldham? It's supposed to be your kryptonite a little bit.
Yeah, I was a little scared for a second.
It didn't seem like those frostbites really did anything to you.
Nah, I mean, I definitely did a bit of throwing one turn, blocked for 7. I thought I was blocking for 8.
Yeah. Did he forget on the last turn? Was he like, oh, there's still physical coming through?
Yeah, I was like, you could have blocked it out this way and prevented 1 arcane, but you're still at 1 health, and you're still in the same situation.
Well, was he wearing Skullcap?
No, he had the what are the cards called?
Crown of Seeds.
Yeah.
So.
And he doesn't have an Arsenal card, but at the same time, it's like you give me all the cards out of your hand, and the next turn I get to Arsenal Plunder on yellow.
Yeah.
And then do the same thing again. So.
Yeah, I mean just 7-4-4 minimum every single turn.
Yep.
It's like so devastating.
Some variant of non-attack, boosting attack for 4, and then 4/4.
Yeah,
Like I
I mean,
said, the deck's like pretty broken. You never pitch.
you never pitch unless you have to.
Yeah,
I was kind
and
of go ahead.
most of the time, most of the games, you're happy swinging your sword twice for your two
Right,
tuning
right. That's
counters.
kind of what I was noticing is you don't really swing the sword too much. And funny enough, the one time he made you pitch, all it really made you do is you had one floating. And you're like, might as well throw the sword at you.
Yeah, I was like, well, didn't have to use my tuning counter there. It was pretty neat. So
Yeah. So good job.
thanks,
You
bro.
go to 2-0, right?
Yep.
So your next match, I mean, you're probably just gonna. What did they say? 4 rounds tonight? 5 rounds?
4 or 5. I don't
Or
know.
4 or 5.
Win the
Um,
next 3. Get
yeah.
myself some boxes.
Get yourself some boxes. Get yourself some nice
I've
boxes.
got something to show you guys too.
Oh, let's go. Oh yeah. The bass.
Yeah, so we got the big mouth Billy Bass. It's a inclusion to the stream.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a big
It's
deal.
festive.
Very festive. I like the hat. I do have actually something really cool to show you guys. Can you put a shirt on the chair?
Yes. Are you on my shirt? Are these the flesh and blood ones?
There is the flesh and blood one, I think. So
Yeah, if you guys came out tonight, you got a free shirt. Pretty epic. We had like a bunch on the
if you
table.
came tonight, the collective was actually giving out free shirts or very cheap shirts.
Let's go. A new work shirt for me. Pretty poggers.
If you are in Orlando and you'd like to pick up a shirt at the collective, the front is just the normal collective logo. It's great. They're $20. But yeah, it's super awesome for the collective to do that for us. I think they look great and they're actually really high quality. So, but yeah, I'm kind of just filling time until we get to the next round. You know, Briar matches are going to be a little fast. So, thanks for Evan for hanging out on stream for a little bit. We're gonna see what we can do about getting the next round to you as fast as possible. I think we have enough time, maybe, to run a top cut, and I think top cuts are always really exciting. So we'll try to get that to you. I'll keep you as informed as I know. That was round 2. We're gonna go into round 3. Again, if you know anyone who's sitting in their hotel room or you just want to share this around on Facebook, on Discord, on whatever, get some people in here. Let's talk about Flesh and Blood. Let's get ready for Nationals tomorrow. This is going to be a fun stream just to watch some games. And yeah, let's enjoy it. We have at least 2 more rounds for you. There's probably going to be a top cut, and it's going to be super exciting. We're giving out some Toa boxes, some Tales of Aria first edition, and some Crucible Unlimited. So these are pretty coveted boxes, especially the Crucible right now. So super exciting, some stuff on the line, and stick around, and we'll be right back with round number 3.
I've noticed it's keeping like.
Okay, I
He
understand.
skipped 2 grades. He's in 10th grade. I'm in 8th grade.
I understand that. I still have I have a handful of best friends who are all they all know each other since kindergarten. I'm 27 now, and so I literally today I called him. It's his birthday. And I was like, hey, happy birthday. So I literally that's good.
You gotta add that.
Keep those friends.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to understand.
Yeah, I think you have the Y.
Oh.
So you got the bye, but do you want to run a Katsu game since ain't shit going on up front against me? Yeah,
Do it. Get some practice, dude.
Because I have my deck here.
I might as well.
What is going on, everyone? We're going to round number 3. We have Andrew Wachter and Matt from Dispersion Glass. Oh, and they have some nice mats too. Just throw it over there real quick. Oh, let me go fix that camera angle. That's kind of annoying. But yeah, it's gonna be a super fun match. Apparently, I've heard a lot of people say that Dash cannot handle this Briar deck. So let's see how it works out. But I'll be right back. I'm gonna go fix that camera angle. It's a little crooked. So, that being said, I'm really excited to bring this match to you guys. Andrew's a good friend of ours. Matt's been coming to the collective for a long time. Super good friend, super good player here. Really interesting to see him on Briar. I know in the previous meta he was on Chain. Kind of that Rune Blade switch that a lot of people have done, just because the Chain balancing with the Seeds of Agony is kind of not great for Chain. We're going to see Andrew probably start on that induction chamber. I'm going to find... This is where it's going to be fun because I don't have a lot of the dash cards actually saved. It's been a while. So yeah, definitely something interesting that Dash can do. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm sure you've seen a lot of it. A lot of you guys are longtime players here, but Dash can do a lot of crazy things. Like you just saw, like block out a lot and then only use pretty much a blue in their hand to throw a couple pistol shots out at their opponent. Very interesting. And of course, Briar. We have a lot of Briar here tonight. I think you're going to see a lot of Briar going forward. Just being able to do so many non-attack actions, giving those embodiment of lightning tokens and having so much go again, going so wide, and not really contingent on hitting, which I'm kind of not the biggest fan of. I think a lot of these powerful effects should be kind of your opponent should be able to do something to mitigate it, in my opinion. But I'm not a designer, so I kind of like it when things have hit effects because you're like you at least have the option like, hey, do I give up my turn to not let this happen, or do I, you know, say you can have the on hit effect and I will see if I can do more to you. Um, but yeah, that being said, we will be right back. I'm going to go fix that camera angle. Oh, that is much better. Yeah, it's a bit of a hike for me. So fixing the anyone who's been in the collective, you know where the stream room is and you know where the actual stream table is. So it was a little far, but definitely wanted to get that angle a little bit better. Still maybe a little off, but it's okay. Um, yeah, so we see Andrew actually, I believe he's getting to start first here, which is kind of big. You really want to just throw as much damage out as you can. Hopefully the Briar player takes some of it. It's really rare that you ever take damage on your first turn going first, though, or going second, because, I mean, you just get a free hand to block with, right? You're just going to draw back up. Interesting enough, we see Matt has chosen to keep in the Command and Conquers. I know that's kind of a hit or miss card for a lot of people. Command and Conquer not really doing... Well, really, it's just because you have to pitch for it, right? I think a lot of the Briar deck is just you don't have to pitch for anything, so having to pitch for Command and Conquer just doesn't always feel the greatest. Interesting enough, we're going to see Andrew come down with a blue throttle. And there you go. Matt is actually going to take the 4 damage and go to his turn. Going to draw 1, not forget the tunic. And what is Matt going to do? I mean, he has the Captain's Call, and we're going to see that a lot. So I'm actually going to bring up Captain's Call for you guys. It is a modal card. So you get 2 options with Captain's Call. it's taking so long. But okay. So anyway, back to the stream. Uh, yeah, so it looks like Andrew was able to block out most of it. And we're just going to see the throttle come in. Looks like he did boost it. And he's going to boost on the 0 to 60 as well. Now this is where you get kind of in this iffy position, right? So if Andrew's going full aggro here, you just got to watch out because yeah, I mean, Andrew's already up 14 to 40 or 14 points and it hasn't been touched yet. And that's just really not where you want to be as the aggro deck. You kind of want to be the one on the front foot, making them have to make the decisions about blocking and not really being able to do too much. We do see the Sonata Arcanix come down. And he does actually get the non-attack action. For a second there, I thought he had whiffed it. So this is going to come in for 1 Arcane. Interesting to see if Andrew decides to pitch for it. The Achilles accelerators on Andrew's boots do actually have an Arcane Barrier 1. And he chooses the Arcanic Shockwave. Just trying to remember all these card names. Yeah, he chooses the Arcanic Shockwave, goes to his hand. Andrew's going to have to pitch for an Arcane if he chooses to. He does choose to pitch for the Arcane. I think he has 2 floating here. And we actually see another Sonata Arcanix come down. He does hit this one as well. So we're going to have he gets an Electrify, a Scar for a Scar, and a Command and Conquer. Does create that embodiment of Lightning token. That's the second non-attack action. And that's just really strong. I mean, we all know that giving anything go again on a pretty much on a whim is just such a strong effect. And having that built into a hero ability has just been proven time and time again that it's just really strong to have. Now, it's not as on demand as, say, a Chain where he just literally says, my next thing has go again. I activate my hero effect, it has go again. But at the same time, I mean, playing 2 non-attack actions in a Runeblade deck is just not very difficult. Especially this one where almost all of them are free. There we go. Now we see Matt on his side of the turn. He's going to play that Electrify into an Arcanic Shockwave. Man, that card has just been putting in so much work for these Briar decks. Arcanic Shockwave, just the 0 for 4. I mean, all the 0 for 4s are really strong. This one having a chance to do an Arcane on top of it. It's kind of attached to the card as long as you fuse it. Just super strong here. Andrew having to decide like how he's going to deal with this. We're going to see him block 3. He's going to take 4 total. I think that's from the electrified trigger as well. And I think Andrew's being a good sport there. He's saying, hey, like, you need to create that embodiment of Earth token. We don't want to have any slip-ups here. No embodiment of Earths at the end of the turn where you kind of like count up like, oh, I did 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks. I create 4 embodiments. Like, no, these need to be triggered. If you guys are going to any tournaments, these embodiment of Earth tokens trigger as the card hits. Do not wait until like the end of the turn to try to do it. But yeah, just definitely make it as the card hits. This is a casual level event. We do have some great prizes on the line, but this is technically a casual level event, so not too much going on here. We're going to see Matt just pitch for 1 and throw out Rosetta Thorn. Not really sure what happened there. Did he decide? I guess he was deciding whether or not he wants to Arsenal the last card in his hand or just play Rosetta Thorn. Yeah, I guess that was the option there to see what happened. Andrew deciding to block the physical with the Teklo Foundry Heart. Does take the 2 Arcane, though, as he was out of resources to be able to block. And we just see him come down, load a steam counter on the pistol, and then use the last 2 to play his second induction chamber. And this is where the deck really needs to kind of just hit the gas, really kind of hit all these items, and be able to just kind of have this well-oiled machine of just going 2, 2, 2, 2. And maybe even 3, 3, 3, 3 if he can get to a Plasma Purifier. Another reason you kind of want to get these items out is towards the end of the game, they really kind of feel bad in your hand when this Briar's coming at you for 7, 4, and 4, and you're looking at your hand with 1 or 2 items in it. It can really be backbreaking. And that is something you don't see very often. You see the captain's call into the overload, I think that card is called. I do know that card has dominate, I think, and go again. It's something you don't see very often. It's pretty much a draft only card from Monarch. Um, it starts with a very low attack, but it has dominate. So if you can buff it to some kind of high number, it can actually be pretty devastating to deal with. I think if it hits, it has go again with dominate or something to that effect. And then I think he had to remind Andrew, like, yeah, this has dominate, friend. Even though it's a low damage attack, it has dominate. I also just think Captain's Call is such a fun inclusion that really, I mean, it seems so good, and we just haven't really seen much of it. Giving anything +2 or go again. And it has go again itself, so I mean, it's just another non-attack action to fulfill the requirements for these decks, for these Runeblade decks. So what can Andrew do on his turn to try to crack back? I mean, he's got a bunch of cards in hand. He's got 2 induction chambers. He is still ahead on life by 1, which is good. He needs to really keep putting the gas down and get to the point where he can make the Briar just start, throwing those cards away to block to just stay alive instead of just coming at you like turn after turn, 7, 4, 4, or something like that over and over again. So he's going to use 2. He's going to load the pistol and load an induction chamber. He's going to probably give this go again. He still has 1 floating. Because Matt is losing, the helmet blocks for 2, which is really good right now. It actually still blocks for 1. And we just see him play an item, which doesn't really feel good. I mean, he's kind of giving Matt all the tempo, and that's where these items can kind of just hurt you. The Teklo Heart is a really good one. Every turn, it's going to lose a steam counter, and you gain 2 resources for nothing. It's kind of like a delayed, stronger energy potion, basically, that you don't have an option on using. You play it down. It's free. It comes with 2 steam counters, and every turn you take it down 1 for 2 turns basically, and then you gain 2 resources from that. That can be really good if you happen to have to block a lot. And we actually see the Ravenous Rabble with a Plunder Run coming in for 4 damage. Ravenous Rabble, you reveal the top card, and based on its pitch value, it actually loses attack. So you want to see a red on top, or even the dream, I guess, would be seeing a Gorgonian Tome, then you don't actually have any pitch value, and it just keeps the full attack really strong. But yeah, so it's another card with Go Again, and that's kind of what we're seeing from these Briar decks. Is pedal to the metal, hit you as hard as I can, try to race you down as fast as possible. I really like seeing these decks with these interesting tech, they're not even tech choices, but interesting deck building decisions where you just don't see it very often. And we actually see Andrew block with 2 cards here. He still had to take 1 because I'm guessing the Plunder Run was actually played from Arsenal. So that means it was coming in for 7. He still draws the card, which is just so good. That's why Briar and these decks are just so strong. I mean, they're coming at you turn after turn. I can't really see Matt's hand too well. I do know he has a Snatch in there. Snatch with Go Again is also really strong. We're really just trying to see, like, what does he decide to play next? Oh, I think one of the cards was a Sink Below. He's going to actually close the chain, make an Rune Chant with the gloves, with the Grasp of the Arknight. You don't see that too often in the Briar decks. They really don't like pitching unless they have to. But I mean, he does have a Sink Below, which is also not... Oh, he had 2 Sink Belows, which is really not the most common. Now he's coming in for 1 Arcane, 2 Arcane, and 2 Physical. So this is still a 5 damage attack, getting rid of those 2 defense reactions. I'm not really sure how I feel about playing the D reacts in this matchup. I feel like against the dash player, you want to just go full on aggro. You want to kind of just like get to them before they can get those items online. Now Andrew kind of has like a good turn lined up. He's going to get the 2 resources from the Teklo core. And we're going to get a high octane turn. Now this could be wild. Now high octane, he's going to use one of the resources he got for free from the Teklo heart, or the Teklo core. He still has 1 floating. Now, every time he boosts, whether or not he actually hits, he gains an action point. And if he does actually hit, he'll actually gain, in a way, 2 action points. 1 from the Go Again and 1 from the High Octane being played. These can lead to some crazy turns. He does hit on the boost for the 0 to 60. So this is going to actually be 2 action points. And he's going to mark those. I like it when the players mark the action points on either the High Octane or the Dash or some way. He's just saying, like, hey, I'm marking the action points here. So yeah, he actually gained 2 action points, and now we're still having to deal with the 0 to 60. I would not be surprised if on this one if Matt decides not to block. At this point, you are just blocking for life's sake. It doesn't actually, like, there's no on-hit effects here. I think Dash is actually kind of lacking in that department, where there's just not really that many on-hit effects in general. It's all almost just damage. It's like kind of building a board and getting to this board state that just you're able to block so much and then come in for 2/2/2 or 3/3/3 over and over again. We see him actually going to activate the Teklo Foundry Heart effect. So every time he's going to banish 2, and if he hits each each Mechanologist card he hits, he's going to gain a resource. So he actually went back up from 1 to 2. And we're going to swing Pistol. We're going to give up a resource. We haven't even actually had to use the Go Again here, but he's going to use it. Go back up to 2 action points. It can be kind of confusing here with all the action points flying around, but that High Octane is just really crazy. Is he going to boost again, go up to even more action points? He is, so he's going to go up to 3 action points here. Yeah, 3 would be the correct number because you spend 1 to play it, then you gain it from the Go Again, and then you also gain it from Should actually go up to 4 if I'm not mistaken, right? So he had 2. Oh no, he'll go down to 1 and then gain 2. So yeah, he'll go to 3 for sure. And we're just going to swing another 2. And he's probably going to use those resources to just shoot the gun 2 more times. It's actually a really strong play here. All damage coming in. Does Matt decide to block any of it? I mean, we already saw him throw away an Arcanic Shockwave, which I'm actually not the biggest fan of him doing that. I think that card is just too strong, but already I think Matt's kind of let Andrew sneak back into this game with all the induction chambers being on the field. I think that you really have to kind of swing at the dash. You kind of want to get to them before they can build this board state. Anytime that the dash player could have more than 2 items on the field, and I know one of them is kind of temporary in the Tekla core, but those turns where the dash is playing the items need to be the turns that you are punishing them for not hitting you. And so Matt is going to come into his turn with 2 cards in his hand and 1 from Arsenal. He does play the lightning card that says if it's played from Arsenal, it actually has go again. Yep, and Andrew's just going to take all 4 of that. Matt's going to create that embodiment of Earth token, not missing the trigger that time. And then the Arcanic Shockwave. So Matt actually had another one in hand. No fuse here, though. Just another, I believe this one's actually yellow. So this would be coming in for 3 damage. Does Andrew actually just take this here? I think there's a world where he might. He decides not to. Oh, so this is red. So he used the Grasp, or I'm sorry, not the Grasp, but the Arcanite Skullcap and 1 card. The the Tekla core is going to finish off. It's going to break that last steam counter, gain 2 resources for Andrew, and we could see he's just going to use the 2 to load the pistol, load a induction chamber, and shoot again. So as a reaction, he's going to use that induction chamber, give the pistol go again. Pitch a blue, load 2, and still keep 1 floating. Shoot the pistol 1 more time. Does Matt have a hand where he might actually just decide to keep this? We actually see a Coax of Commotion, a Sigil of Suffering, I think a Ball Lightning, and a Ravenous Rabble. If I'm not mistaken, I think those are the 4 cards in Matt's hand. He might be holding on to that Sigil of Suffering, hoping he can kind of get more value out of it than just a pistol hit. But I'll tell you, a lot of times you just don't get there. And I think Andrew's just going to load up. Does he shoot the pistol 1 more time? And he actually just plays a zipper hit red. I think this is coming in for 5 damage. Really putting on the pressure here. He does boost it. And so Matt is going to get some value out of the Sigil of Suffering. So it's blocking 4, and Matt will take 1, and he's coming in for 2 more. Andrew really trying to put on the aggro pain here. He's just trying to get to that point where Matt has to block, even though he has been blocking this whole time, but really making these turns much worse for him. And Matt just going to take the 2 from the pistol, go down to 12. Score is now 16-12. And it's really interesting here. I really thought the Briar list would actually kind of run through Dash, but it looks like Dash here is giving the Briar a run for its money. I wonder if you guys, anyone out there, think that Briar would actually have even this much trouble with the Dash player. Yeah, I totally agree. It's really interesting to see that Briars really have to make tough decisions as the game drags on because they don't want to give up cards. They don't want to have to give up cards at all. And so, like, you get to the kind of the most, sometimes some of the most interesting games are watching 2 aggro decks be in lethal range of each other, just in that moment. Just because it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like very interesting to see if they can, like, get there. like who, like how they have to block, what cards they hold on to when they normally don't want to give up cards. Now this is super interesting. We're playing a Weave Lightning into a Plunder Run. I assume we played the Weave Lightning just to give this go again because I hope they know it does not give it a buff to damage because Weave Lightning only works on elemental or lightning attacks. But the Plunder Run was played from Arsenal, so this will be hitting for 7. So we see Andrew give up 2 cards here. Gonna take 1. And now he's gonna draw a card off the Plunder Run. Looks like he's not picking any modes for Coax the Commotion. Now, Coax the Commotion does have an effect that works on all players. So basically when it hits, you're able to do 1, 2, or 3, or 0 of these things. So you can either draw a card, gain a life, or create a Quicken token. Now, any of those options that you pick, like I said, will actually work for both players. So you have to be really careful. You don't want to give Dash a Quicken token. That's a free hit with the pistol. Oh, we are going to give Dash a Quicken token. That's crazy to me. And draw a card, I think. No life, though. We're not doing the life. So we drew a card, and we gained a Quicken token. Now, you need to be able to punish the Dash player here. You need to really say, like, hey, yeah, I gave you a card, but I'm going to make you burn it defending anyway. And let's see if it happens. Yeah, I wasn't expecting anything. A lot of times I just think they're going to, like, Coast Commotion's kind of a bait. You're like, oh, maybe I'll get something out of it if I let it hit. And, no, this time we picked 2 of the options. We drew a card and we created a Quicken token. Now, I'm really curious on the Weave Lightning. Does it say your next elemental? Or is it just your next attack if it's elemental? What? Looks like the card gallery was taken offline. I wonder if they're uploading it for unlimited or something. I was trying to pull up it's elemental or lightning. Oh no, I know that part. I was wondering if it's so the wording on it, I was wondering if it was eaten up if you use something that's not elemental. So it's like so like let's say if it says your next attack if it's elemental or lightning gains go again or gains +3, or if it just says your next elemental or lightning attack gains +3. Basically, the first one would eat it up no matter what the attack is played, and the second one would say next lightning or Elliot. Okay, perfect. So yeah, it does like kind of linger on the field until you actually play. Yeah, the next lightning or elemental action card you play. So yeah, that's pretty crazy that you can kind of sit it there and you don't really waste it, right? As long as you can throw an elemental or and then we just see Andrew's gonna use the pistol, just use the Quicken token. Here, you gave me a free shot with the pistol, man. Thank you so much. Now, unfortunately, we did see Andrew have to pitch a yellow to do that. And he's just gonna fire the pistol again. I don't know what that last card in his hand. It might be a defense reaction. It might be an item, which would feel really bad. If it was an item, I'd imagine he would have just played it because you get to keep the Quicken token no matter what. But really interesting there that he decided to keep it. Would be really interesting to see what it is. Now we see another captain's call in Matt's hand. This card has just been putting so much work in today. Don't mean to move the background for you guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, so we see a Nimblism into a captain's call, creating that embodiment of lightning. So I'm guessing the captain's call is used to +2 the next thing. So we're at +5, and now we are doing a snatch for 9 with go again. That is rough. Quick camera hiccup there, but sorry about that. But yeah, snatch for 9 with go again. If it hits, he'll draw a card. That is just so strong here. What will Andrew decide to do? If he decides to block, he has to give up basically 3 cards here. And the worst thing that could happen is if Matt, he gives up 3 cards to block, and then Matt has something like a lightning press. Be very devastating. Interesting to see that Matt still has the Snapdragon Scalers. Don't know why Matt would play Sigil of Suffering in this matchup. Yeah, there's been a lot of defense reactions I'm not really sure about. So Andrew does decide to block the full 9. He gave up a Command and Conquer. It's in his hand. Oh, he has a blink. Interesting enough to play the blink. He's gonna pitch the blink. Create a Rune Chant and swing Rosetta Thorn for 2 and 2. So basically it's coming in for 2, 2 and 1.
Ooh. Who's winning right now?
It's really close. I mean, Matt is technically winning. Andrew did have to give up 3 cards that you see on the screen to give up a 9 damage snatch with Go again.
It's fine. I mean, so he takes 5 here. He still got his 2 weapons loaded. Or he's got his 2 inductions loaded. If
2
it's a blue
induction
in hand,
chambers loaded.
he's fine. Or it just depends what's in Arsenal here.
Yeah, so the turn before he had a yellow in that card. So I don't know what that card is. I assumed if it was an item, instead of pitching the yellow to swing the pistol twice, he would have just played the item and get it out of his hand.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that. So now it's really curious to see what that card actually is.
Andrew takes 5 here. So, yeah, kind of sucks.
If I had to guess, I honestly think Andrew's kind of like too far on the back foot at this point, but it depends on how much damage he's actually able to swing back here. And Matt's been blocking a lot more than I've seen most Briars block. So that in itself is kind of interesting.
I assume I was only swinging for 2 in a purifier out, which is like good for Matt. At the same time, that doesn't really matter. So
Yeah.
Andrew can present 6 damage this turn.
Yeah.
Which is like fine. Matt just takes it though on the chin, goes into his turn with a 4-card hand, needs to deal 18.
Yeah, basically, which is probably fine. And even if he doesn't deal the full lethal damage he strips Andrew's entire hand most likely, and
Again,
and the card was a tome played from
So you draw
Arsenal, so
2.
he's
I
gonna
don't know
draw
why
2,
Andrew
gain
would
2.
play tome in this matchup. It seems very...
Yeah, I think if I'm the dash player, I'm going full boost as much as I can.
Yeah.
I'm going like, I think the only reason you play is you're actually hoping for the crazy combo, high octane, draw more cards.
I don't even think
like,
you bother playing a 10. I think you just go for the high octane.
Who's on stream right now?
Andrew versus Matt Pollitt. I just lost to the Brute.
You lost?
Yeah.
What happened?
I got intimidated.
You got intimidated.
Got scared.
He got both my E-strikes. I was not able to survive.
Matt's gonna start with a ball lightning. That's just gonna be
For 2.
super strong here.
It's a yellow, right?
Yeah, it does look like yellow to me.
For 2.
2 presenting
Andrew's gonna
3.
give him a block, because...
I mean, it's basically 3 for 3, even though it says 2 on the card.
Yep, yeah.
Oh, and Twine Lightning
fuse.
fusing it with a lightning press, so it just feels really weird.
Yeah. Andrew's thinking some damage through. Depending on what the other card in Matt's hand is, I would probably like to see this lightning press get played here.
Yeah, I think so too. The card, I believe the card in his
Andrew's
arsenal
gonna
is
take
a
it.
Sigil
That
of
seems like
Suffering.
a very poor choice. He says no blocks. It's a red, right? He has to block here.
I don't know if it's a red, to be honest. That's
Lightning
one
press.
thing. No, I assume the lightning press is a red. It'd be really wild if it's not.
I mean,
But
lightning's definitely a red. It's like if it hits at all, if he can't, he has to block here. I think he's got him locked up, honestly.
yeah, this is probably either, like I said before, is that a channel? No, that's the lightning press. Ryan's playing the channel thunder step. I think it's wild.
2.
How many lightning
I'm not counting
briar
Ryan's
got?
deck.
How many lightning briar C got there today?
2.
2, 3,
2.
2. Well, no, 3.
Alex didn't play in the tournament. I don't count
Ryan's
deck.
playing.
I don't count Ryan's.
Ryan's playing. He's playing some lightning briar.
It's like not the
It's
same.
different,
though. It's
but
not the same.
It's not the 0 cost, like full
It's
aggro.
not the good version.
It's not the good version.
Sorry, Ryan. Still love you though.
What's going
Sick
on?
green screen.
Sick camera green screen
So
there.
Andrew's gonna block for 3 here. Love to see a defense rack in hand. Ooh,
Ooh.
Takes 1. He's gonna take 2 here actually. If they catch this. Nope. Missed
No,
beneficial
miss.
trigger.
Not even a trigger, it's just a missed effect. It's like, this is how it's supposed to be.
So I'm Matt here. I definitely think you want to instant in the defense in the reaction or another reaction step in the defense step, so you can see no reacts.
I think if we were gonna see reacts, I think we would have seen them already. I don't know. I think I would have blocked.
I also really dislike. I guess it doesn't matter. He should have 2 there. And this is coming in for 4. He definitely should lightning press this as soon as possible though, because if he does wait, then Andrew will get the opportunity to play a Fate Foreseen or something.
Yeah, correct. If he has one, then for sure it gives him the opportunity.
We'll
which
see.
why even give him the opportunity?
Yeah. I think we're just gonna see a block 3 here, which is like.
Entwine Lightning should do 1 more damage now.
It should.
It
but
should,
they
but
missed the trigger. So
yep, it absolutely should, and they missed it. So.
Let's get block 3. Gonna lightning press it. Putting him up to 7. Gonna take 4. Putting him down to 3. Nope. Down to 3.
But now I think they caught that it doesn't buff that one.
Nice. Andrew.
Interesting enough.
Yeah.
1 damage here. I mean, I think Andrew's not able to present lethal here. I mean, the most he can present is 4. So
Like...
I think if you're a Matt, you probably use the Sigil of Suffering that's in your arsenal, just to deal another damage at this point and get it out of your arsenal.
You just wait until he attacks you or something. No, actually, if you do want to play it, you wait until you waste his 1 resource.
Yeah, that's true too. Or you can even like, you can make him use it now, and then he doesn't hit you again. You're still at high. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, because it's not like Andrew can. I mean, I guess Andrew could take it if he wanted to.
So yeah, that's exactly what we see. Andrew's gonna do that. The one thing this also does, it gives him he leaves the 1 steam counter on the induction chamber,
which is like good for Andrew.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's why. And to your point, you could have waited for the 2nd attack, and that way it's all gone.
Yeah, which I don't think it's better.
And you take the 1 damage there and get 1 damage closer.
I think you take 2, get 1 damage closer. Playing block cards in Briar just doesn't seem very fun.
Yeah.
Like, why would you block?
Why do it? Just swing with 8 attack actions. You get 8 embodiment.
4, baby.
Get 8 embodiment tokens and just block with like 1 non-attack if you have to.
I don't know how you run it. I feel like an Avalanche is probably fine, but it does have built-in what's it called?
What are you trying to do?
Oh, I don't know. I was trying to hover over this, but they can't see on the stream, so
no, they cannot. Matt should have let Andrew react to waste the induction before playing the sigil.
Agreed.
Oh, actually, that's really smart too. Because that way, you actually get this. You get the.
Oh yeah.
You get the counter off, and they still have to decide whether or not they take the arcane.
Yeah.
100%. So interesting to see here what Matt's going to do, try to finish off Andrew. Now, Mech is the one deck that if you leave it with cards in hand, even 1, can actually kind of claw its way back.
Yeah, it's like Prism almost. Coming from out of Prism is like so easy. It's because they think they get far enough ahead and they don't kill an aura and then you just take the game back. But this is not Prism. This is Mechanologist.
This is Mechanologist.
No auras in the deck.
No auras.
I think if you are going to play Mech tomorrow, I think you definitely add an Art of Wars into the deck.
What he was saying is that if you wait for him to actually use the reaction anyway, and
he'll go back to you, and then you just...
Yeah, and then you get to use your defense reaction, make him take 1, and he wasted the...
You just straight up posterize him, dude.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we'll be back.
Sounds good. So we just see Matt come with the Command and Conquer, and that's actually probably not like the best feeling card in the world right now. He did it to pitch 2 reds as well, and that's kind of one of the reasons these decks have been ditching Command and Conquer. Interesting enough, what he could have done, I don't know if, I mean, this is what I would do. Do we see Andrew block with 3 cards there? Not really sure. Anyway, what I think I would have done is I would have played like something like the Exude Confidence. Snapdragon Scalers it, then pitch like 1 more card and use the Tunic counter for the Command and Conquer, something like that. Threaten way more damage, get way more cards out of Andrew's hand. Maybe even kill him if he happens to be stuck on a defense reaction. We're just going to use the Tunic counter Electrify from Arsenal. Something great about playing Electrify from Arsenal, you do get to draw a card, then if your next attack hits... Maybe he doesn't. Maybe you just think Lightning Press works on everything. I'm not sure. Not like this, Andrew. Not like this. But yeah, I think I would have played the, like something like the Exude Confidence or something. But anyway, I don't think it's going to matter too much here. I think Matt is probably going to be able to just swing out so much damage that Andrew's going to have to block with basically every card in his hand. And even this is threatening a Lightning Press for lethal. But I don't see it in Matt's hand. I think I see a Captain's Call. Funny enough, I just left this Captain's Call up on screen. It's like mattered like every game. Really interested to see what Matt decides to do on the back of this ball lightning.
Lightning press.
He's really agonizing over this decision. It's really interesting to see. He's just going to E-strike. He has to decide on what card to tuck underneath and then which mode he's going to pick. He picked draw a card, making me think this is a Snapdragon Scalar's turn. He has 2 Plunder runs in hand. Not the worst. Still able to swing Rosetta Thorn. Yep, gonna Snapdragons. No, he chose draw a card. He's definitely just going to pitch one of the 2 cards in his hand and Rosetta Thorn, which actually might be enough. I think Andrew does not have any more blocks on his equipment. Oh, we're going to make a Rune Chant first. And Andrew does not have the cards to block. And the card in Arsenal was a Plasma Purifier, unfortunately. So Andrew did not have the cards to block. Matt will jump to 3-0. Andrew goes to 2-1. That was a crazy match. I think the Dash player gave the Briar player way more run for its money than expected. And we're going to throw it back to me real quick while they set up for their last couple, while we set up for the last round of Swiss. How's it going, everyone? How'd you like that match? That match was crazy. Really interesting to see a Briar deck that's not just pure Lightning aggro. What's the turnout for today? We didn't have as much as we'd like to. It's kind of interesting, but we still had 14, I think. 14 is not too bad. We're giving away 4 boxes no matter what. So that was really cool. The store, they said, hey, we offered it. This is what we're doing. 4 boxes, the same 4 boxes that we offered. So 2 boxes of Crucible Unlimited and 2 boxes of Tales of Aria First Edition. Super exciting. I showed off this shirt earlier. Pretty much everyone who played today got this shirt for half off. And then they're still available throughout the weekend for like 20 bucks. Really good price for the shirt. Also, the collective is like a super cool place to hang out. So if you guys like get done with Flesh and Blood at the convention center and need somewhere to hang out, the collective is a really cool place to just come and see like where some of the best players in the country play. Florida's a hotbed for really competitive players. So this one was kind of like a fun celebration the store wanted to do because Nationals coming up and the 2-year anniversary and everything. And it's just been really fun. I'm really glad you guys are hanging out with me today. We have at least one more round of Swiss. I think because of the time, we can actually do a top cut. So we're going to do a top cut to 4. And I think the winner walks away with a box of their choice. So it's going to be either one of the Tales of Aria boxes or one of the Crucible Unlimited boxes. They get one of those just handed to them for their efforts, which is really exciting. We did get the Briar kit in, so if you guys are local to Orlando, if you're going to be here next week at all, we'll be starting the Briar kit. I think we have one more week of the Oldham kit actually because of all the events, but then we have the Briar kit actually, and those mats look sick. I'm super excited to start that. Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. We have a couple Briar. We have an Oldham, which we saw on stream earlier. We have a couple Dash. Dash is doing really well. Yeah, so we're excited. I think almost everyone's still in contention for top 4. So it'll be exciting. Everyone who showed up today actually got prizing, and we're raffling off a mat, and it's just been a lot of fun. I hope you guys can hang out, share the stream around. What's the challenge? Triple block on CNC. Yeah, it happens. I'm gonna ask him about it. I'm gonna go out there before we start round 4. I kind of want to know what his thought process was there, why he did that. Not really sure. I think the writing was kind of on the wall anyway, whether or not he does that, but it does definitely not really make a whole lot of sense. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Thank you guys so much for following, and hanging out in the stream today. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like to see improved. The cards are new. I kind of have to pull those up in the moment, so that's why you hear a little bit of typing. So I apologize for that. Yeah, it's just me running the stream, so that's why we have typing and stuff. I don't have a guy to like pull up cards.
My bad.
Come on, Evan. Nah, it's okay. But anyway, we're gonna get round 4 started pretty quickly here. I'm gonna throw it to the Be Right Back screen. It shouldn't be too long in between rounds. I think that is there still games going on out there? Or?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. So yeah, the round 4 should start like relatively in the next few minutes. So be right back, guys. Thank you for watching, and make sure you share it around if you haven't already. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. This is the final round of Swiss. We will cut to top 4 after this. So I didn't want to put another Bri on stream. I apologize for that. I was trying to find something interesting. Turns out we have a Brute player who is XO, actually just beat a Briar. And I was like, hey, you're playing Brute. You're 3-0. You're going on stream, man. I gotta have it. I gotta see what this deck's cooking. This is crazy. I love the decks that just come out of nowhere and just seem to do well. Brute can be a big headache for a lot of people. So, I mean, just being able to intimidate so many cards. What's really interesting is a lot of Briars don't like to block anyway. So I was like, how impactful is Intimidate? I don't know. I predict Swing Fist Think Leaders. Yeah, probably. I mean, that card's pretty good. Definitely gonna pull up. I have to pull up a lot of Brute cards. Don't have like any of them actually saved yet. Oh wait, Swing Fist is actually not even there. It's in Monarch. Oh, you're right. There's so many Brute cards. It's funny how Brute had the same amount of sets of support as Runeblade, but just doesn't have the same following as Runeblade. I guess that's not true. Actually, Tales of Aria had an extra set. Never mind. I apologize. Close to it though. It's controversial among Brutes, but I like it. Mm. I'm gonna leave up Captain's Call until the card decides to load. Oh wow, we see the Ravenous Rabbles coming down. We're just gonna lightning press it. So strong here. We didn't actually create any of our embodiments of Earth tokens. Be sure you create those tokens on hit, guys. You know, you don't want to don't want to miss the trigger. Brute must really like his hand, though. Yeah, I mean, if you're not blocking on that turn 1, you gotta like it. I mean, this may be why. I mean, a barraging beatdown, and another barraging beatdown. Yeah, this could be why. Does he oh my god, the third barraging beatdown. Someone clip this. I think that's what it is. And then the swing. So this can be really devastating if the card in Arsenal happens to actually be that sigil. That would be wild because it kind of nullifies like this entire insane barraging beatdown turn. But having 2 reds and a yellow barraging beatdown, what is that? +4, +4, +3? If you don't block with 2 cards? Into a weapon swing. Wild. And we see the Runeblade player kind of just deciding like, how do I block this? Like, I guess I have to like give up what I can. He's ahead on life, so the Arcanite Skullcap like doesn't even do much here. Only blocks for 1. Let's see how much this totaled up to. 11 damage through a card and a piece of equipment. Wild first turn. So now we know why he decided to block it. And shout out to the to the helmet piece on the brute side. Unfortunately, not an Arcanite skull cap. I'm actually in that same boat. I actually had I lost my Arcanite skull cap in Dallas, unfortunately. Don't know how I lost a single card, but it is what it is. But we see the Iron Rot helm on the brute side. Might not even matter. It just really depends on kind of what the sequence is here. So Matt's gonna start on this plunder run. I'm just still kind of not over what just happened. I loved it, and he blocked with a barraging beatdown already, right? So he had what, 4 of them? It's really silly. And so he's calming down. We see the plunder run, a pretty normal turn from Briar. We're gonna play the plunder run, play the nimblism into a Arcanic Shockwave. We've seen this card all day long. Oh, there's the Swing Fist Think Later I wanted to bring up earlier. As an additional cost to play Swing Fist Think Later, discard a random card, go again. Not really the most, kind of not having those 6s kind of feels not as great in your turns sometimes, because you have to discard a 6 to do some certain things like Intimidate with Rhinar. But I mean, I will not argue that this card is strong on its own. Oh, wrong card. Yep, going into Matt's turn again. He's just going to start with a Scar for Scar. He's still lower in life by 1.
Whether somebody here knows it or the Discord.
And then we're just going to use the Coax of Commotion after all that. So the Coax of Commotion will have go again. I think he's reading the Weave Lightning to make sure it doesn't work on that. But the Captain's Call, probably going to buff this by 2. So it is coming in for 6 and go again, thanks to the Embodiment of Lightning token. Coax of Commotion, such a fun card. A lot of people are specking on it, thinking that PvE is going to happen. I think it's a really fun ultimate pit fight card too. You're sitting at a table, everyone gets a token, gets to draw a card, gets to gain a life if you choose. Really interesting, kind of could be fun in a group hug deck, if that ever exists in Flesh and Blood going down the line. And we're just going to see Tom block with 1 and actually use a Fate Foreseen, blocking all of the damage coming from this Coax Commotion. Not saying we're not going to have fun here. I'm not letting you draw a card. I'm not letting you do any kind of crazy shenanigans, anything like that. It did have go again, so Matt still could choose to swing the sword with the Tunic, which he's going to. Yeah, that's kind of common in these Briar decks. You don't really swing the sword too often, but when you do, it's usually off the back of the Tunic trigger. And then on Tom's side, we're just gonna see a swing with the club again. Will Matt choose to block it or not is the question. Now both these players are 3-0, so they are kind of guaranteed for our top cut already. But really what they're playing for is seeding. So if you guys don't know what happens in Flesh and Blood tournaments, and I think other games do this too, but pretty much the higher seed in top cut gets to decide who plays first, which for a lot of these decks could matter. So basically the winner here gets to have top seed all throughout top 4. And again, they're playing for a box of their choosing. They're playing for either a box of Tales of Aria or a box of Crucible. So not bad. I mean, either one. You paid 20 bucks to enter today. We gave away a lot of prizes for free, kind of just big raffle prizes. And at the end of the day, if you win, you got a box for 20 bucks. I mean, you can't beat that. And we're going to see Matt just make a rune chant and come in with a scar for a scar. So Tom is gonna take the rune chant here. And then he's just gonna block the scar for a scar with a fate foreseen. Really interesting choice there. Not to block it, but just to even include those in the decks against such an aggro deck. But really, I guess if you can keep the life totals kind of similar, which is they have, I mean, the Brute can just kind of come out with a lot of damage. And here we see another barraging beatdown. Does he have enough intimidates to actually get the barraging beatdown to hit no matter what? That is really what it comes down to. Something crazy he could have is if he had like an alpha rampage that would be able to intimidate 2 more. Blood Rush, please. Yeah, Blood Rush turn would be pretty wild here. And really, it's just a Savage Feast. So he's going to discard a... Oh, that is a good one to discard. It's going to intimidate twice. Massacre being that card from Crucible of War that made Brute kind of super strong here. And he's going to draw a card off the Savage Feast. So now Savage Feast coming in for what I believe is either 6 or 10. Depending on whether or not he blocks with 2 cards. Now the card in Arsenal would have to be a defense reaction. And I don't believe it is. Otherwise, he would have been a lot more confident here. It looks like this Briar's about to take another huge hit. And because Savage Feast draws a card, that's going to give Tom an Arsenal, which is really strong. A lot of times, Brute, just having Arsenal makes discarding the card for costs just feel a lot better. Yeah, and I think Matt's just saying, hey, I'll block with gloves, just keep a point of damage up. But really, I'm not going to give you a card for no reason. So Matt's going to fall to 16 life here. We're going to play that Plunder Run from Arsenal. That is just such a devastating card. +3 damage on your next attack. And the next attack that hits gets to draw a card. One of the things that Plunder Run is just so strong about doing is the +3 is for your next attack. But the draw card is on any attack on the chain that hits. That first one that hits is going to draw the card. So if you can string together multiple attacks, each one is threatening that draw trigger. And then we're just going to scar for a scar. This does have go again because we are lower on life. So it's pretty much 7 damage, go again, and if it hits, draw a card. It's just so strong. These Briar decks are just able to play everything that doesn't need to be pitched for. You can almost get rid of the pitch zone if they just didn't have if they just didn't have to go against like ice decks. But Tom is going to answer with the 1-card block and the defense reaction. Which I think the defense reaction came from Arsenal, so that Savage Feast paying off. But so now we have 2 plunder runs active. We get the embodiment of lightning token. And we're going to snatch. This snatch could actually draw 3 cards. None of our attacks have hit this turn at all. This is a snatch for 4, go again, and if it hits, draw 3. And Tom is just saying, no, we're not letting you draw 3. You're not drawing 3 cards here. Yeah, 100%. There's no way you let that snatch land. You let the snatch land, you throw, right? You draw 3 there, you have no hand left. Or your opponent draws 3 and you have no hand, you just eat a lot of damage. Tom having to decide here, what does he do? Does he just throw the hammer? He's just going to Arsenal pass, and I can't say I hate it. Hopefully you're trying to get to this point where the Briar doesn't have another turn like that. How many plunder runs can they seriously have? The answer's a lot, by the way. Usually it's like 9. Plunder run is just such a wild card. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Auroron Targaryen? Auroron? 100%. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, yeah, how many can they have? The answer's 9. It's just too good. By the way, if you guys are hanging out this late at night before Nationals, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys are having a good time, enjoying some local level Flesh and Blood. We have some good players here. We're going to have a top 4, playing for a box. Just got to say thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching me. It is just me today. Trying to keep it as entertaining as possible. If you guys talk, that helps me out a lot. It gives me something to bounce off of, and I just really appreciate you guys hanging out. But yeah, and I'm super pumped for Orlando too. It's gonna be wild. I'm really happy that it's actually in our backyard. Got really lucky there, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Flesh and Blood has been such a ride here in Florida that we started with just 4 people coming to the collective every week, and then it grew and grew, and it's been just such a fun time. But back to the game, we actually see Tom start with a Sand Sketch Plan. Now this card, I am so back and forth on this card. This card is both the most wild card in the game and sometimes the most frustrating card in the game. It searches any card, you put it in your hand, and then you discard a card at random. If it's a 6, I believe, then you gain 2 action points. I believe that's how it works. It's been a while since I saw the card. But yeah, it's just so crazy. The fact that it can search any card is really strong too. Oh my goodness, what a card to hit. That is going to intimidate a card, and it's going to make him banish cards off the top of his deck until he hits another 6 attack. That is insane. That is a monster hit. I don't know how many of those he had in his hand, but a Beast Within there is probably the #1 card he was hoping. Hopefully he had 1 Beast in hand and search the second. Yeah, that would be the play, right? Make it like a 50-50 shot. Oh, 1. So he's going to lose 1 life there. Lose another. Oh, lose the second life, but we got the 6 attack that we needed to stop the bleeding. And then we're going to intimidate that 1 card. We're still going, though. And we have the Tunic trigger. And we have 2 action points to work with. Didn't have to roll Scab Skins for him. I think he has to be ecstatic with that. We're going to start with the Tunic counter. Use the Tunic counter. Play Blood Rush Bellow. Let's go. This is a monster turn. This could be the end of the game in a way. If Tom can throw out 16 damage, we're going to get another Intimidate. I know. That is just wild. This has been such a strong turn, and it's not over yet. This is game if he doesn't break the Blood Rush Bellow draws 100%. I mean, I don't know how you brick with this many cards in hand, but I guess it could happen. Does he? I mean, a barraging beatdown would be pretty nice here. Get another card out of his hand. But of course, you're probably going to intimidate one more. Savage Feast is a wonderful card to play here because you're going to replace it anyway. You're going to replace the card you discard. No barraging though, but let's see if we get another Intimidate. We do get another Intimidate. We're going to draw a card and we're getting rid of that other card in his hand. This has been a wild turn. Tom's really playing for that box here. I think he might be the one to walk away with it. If he finishes this turn with an Alpha Rampage, I'll lose my mind. Tom saying, I don't care what's going on with all these Briars and these crazy fast decks. I'm playing full on brute, draw cards, intimidate your entire hand. You're going to eat all this damage. Still has 3 points of armor. Arcanite Skullcap, we don't need it. Still technically actually even has 4 points of armor with the Tunic. You know, if you ever need to give it up. He didn't even pay $180 for his headpiece. Hey, I didn't either. I just, lost it. So, it's fine. I'm going to have to pay $180 for a new one. Oh, did he block with scabs? Okay, probably the dice is off screen. Oh, not the craziest turn here. So we are going to intimidate the last card, and this is just going to come in and hit. Oh, we are going to give up some of the Arcanite Skullcap. Matt kind of looking at his hand like, yeah, this whole hand got banished. The Arcanite Skullcap was able to block 2 there. Not quite lethal. 1 damage away. You know what is lethal here, though? And I would love to see it. Let me see the Reckless Swing. Let me see this end on a Reckless Swing. So every turn you're going to let, if he's playing it, which I assume he is, but every turn you are getting to this point where, like, if you don't kill the Brute, they get 1 more turn closer to the Reckless Swing.
Oh, text Chris back.
What do you say?
Oh, I said text Chris back?
Oh, my phone's out there. Matt kind of deciding he has to kind of put to this point. He's 3-0. These players are both 3-0, and this is the last round before Top Cut.
I think I'm in.
You 3-1?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Probably.
These deck was kind of scary.
You know whose deck is really scary? This Brute, dude.
I know,
Brute's
dude.
wild. He beat you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, this turn has been, or the turn before this was
It kind of
massive.
sucked. So I hadn't seen E-Strike, and then the turn that I finally drew him, which was like the final turn of the game, he intimidated 3. So my hand was 2 E-Strike, 2 Ball Lightning,
Yeah.
and Sting of Sorcery and Arsenal. So I might be able to block it all. I just win. Because of that sick replacement effect.
Sick replacement effect. Yeah, the winner here will actually go into Top Cut undefeated and will have their choice of who plays first throughout the entire Top Cut.
Who's taking swing by?
Here.
Yeah.
So we see Matt start with the Electrify from Arsenal. Not bad, but I'm sure Tom is just waiting for him to throw out that attack so he can reckless swing here. This is
Ooh.
turn 6, by the way. Thanks for the count. I mean, that's crazy. Turn 6
Oh
and
my
we're at 1 to
god, dude.
16.
Thomas is
You should have seen this last turn. I hope I can like find the clip or something.
Thomas blocked me out already game.
You want some free packs, bro?
Yeah, sure.
What I gotta do? Take out the trash.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm the only one here. I gotta watch the store. I swear.
Oh man, just really excited to see if Tom has it. I love how they ban seats to try and slow the game down. The players just won't have it. Yeah, what is this? I don't want to block. Let me just throw out a million damage and try to make the game over by turn 5 or 6. Didn't change, just evolved, become faster now? It's different now. I mean, the chains I've seen, they're definitely still very fast. But they definitely become, yeah, by becoming priors. Yes, that's probably a good way to put it. But yeah, the chains I have seen, they still play like the biggest card they play now is Howl from Beyond. And the fact that Tom is reading this card, I don't know if he has the reckless swing. I feel like he would have just slammed it down. I've seen chains close games in 4 to 5 turns. Yeah, 100%. Especially if it's like against another aggro deck that doesn't want to block. Katsu's actually, Katsu's kind of fallen off because I think people kind of figured out how to block it more efficiently. But Katsu's one of those decks that if you don't know how to check it, can actually do a lot of crazy things as well. So we are going to block 4 here. Matt's going to use the Snapdragon Scalers. Is kind of at this point now where he's like, I have to put in the damage. Now, funny enough, Matt has an Exude Confidence in his deck, which could actually insulate him from the Reckless Swing. But now that Tom hasn't played it, I wonder if you arsenal that card and try to hope that you can play it next turn. Because you're not killing Tom this turn. You're not killing the Brute this turn. But the Exude Confidence could definitely help not have you die to Reckless Swing. Yeah, I mean, there's probably only 2 left, but at least 1 Reckless. I love the face, dude, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to see it after that turn. That turn was just so wild. It's probably one of the best turns I've ever seen a Brute do. That's not just that crazy 36 damage turn that they Instagrammed from like some calling way back when. I don't know if you guys saw that one, but it was like some crazy claw Brute turn that was like all 3 Blood Rush Bellows and craziness from like clawing like a bunch of times. Clawing a bunch of times, playing a bunch of other cards. Really wild. So we're going to play another Electrify, get an embodiment of Lightning Token. Will we see the Exude Confidence come down now? I don't know if we should, but I guess we will. Only reason I don't like the Exude Confidence here is I just don't like the fact that you're not insulating yourself from future Reckless Swings, assuming that he doesn't already have it. Because every turn you give Tom, you're giving him another turn to find the Reckless Swing. And being at 1 life, you just die there.
You gonna come walk out the traffic? Give me a second.
Oh my god, we have 14 viewers in here, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. And like just like was said, pitch or block with 2, pitch club. Reinar or Levia making top 8 tomorrow. I can give you Reinar, maybe. I can't give you Levia. I can't
Yeah,
give.
dude, Levia can high roll. You're putting out some pretty big damage.
I can't give you Levia. I don't know.
All one trip. I'm built different.
Matt having to really kind of figure out these turns here. I mean, he's got to find a way to claw back to get to 11 damage without Tom finding a reckless swing. That reckless swing is kind of like a clock every time he draws up. We're going to start with the ball lightning here. Very strong card to start with. And we're just going to block it up. Means Tom does not have another reckless swing. I wonder, I mean, I assume Tom's playing it. I don't remember seeing them, though, to be completely honest. Like, seeing them pitched or anything. Seen a lot of Sand Sketch plans, seen a lot of these Fate for scenes. I'd imagine he has to be playing it. It's just such a win condition in so many brute decks. And there's a very good chance that that opt was just to find it. Like, just opt this to the bottom. Dig harder. And yeah, the way Tom's blocking, I think that's really the case too. Just blocking out, send a club in.
Is that 3 intimidates? No, only 1.
No, only 1.
So I mean, he has to give him 3 cards here. Or it doesn't. Everything, all the equipment's used, right?
Most runners are in 2 if you don't get time to use 1 early. The 3 can get clogged up and double draw them. Imagine having a card in hand that doesn't block. We're just going to block with the Alpha Rampage, and then we're going to use a Snatch. And then we're going to sink below the Snatch. He just has the defense reactions every single time he has a 4 attack. And we're just going to see Tom take up the Tunic and swing the hammer. He is going to have an Arsenal this time, and so that gives Tom a bit more like kind of like push, right? He's going to have an extra card to work with no matter what next turn. And Matt's having to use 2 cards to block every single time. And we're just going to see him drop the Sonata Arconics. Does hit it. He's going to take the Coax of Commotion. And that's going to come in for 1 Arcane. No Tunic and Null Ring. We're just gonna see a pitch. We're pitching the blue card, so that way we also insulate ourselves from any future Arcane coming in. And are we just going to block with 1 and take 1 here? Looks like Matt's getting in for some damage. And we're going to gain the life. We are now at 2, but unfortunately for that, we are still in reckless swing range. Ooh, we have the Blood Rush Bellow turn. This could be the game. Blood Rush Bellow is just such a strong card. No, no Alpha Rampage, but we are going to swing the Massacre. Intimidate 1 more card. Yeah, Massacre for 10, and that's going to be the game. Tom will go 4-0 going into Top Cut. That being said, I believe that is probably going to be the last game of this round. So I'm actually going to throw it right back to the Be Right Back screen, and we'll come right back with top 4, and I'll announce top 4 in just a moment. Be right back, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, be sure to follow. We stream a lot of our locals here, a lot of good players. And we also have, we stream every single Sunday, except obviously this one. We're going to be at, everyone who is playing here today is going to be at Nationals. We are in Orlando. So, but if you haven't already, please follow, please share, please tell everyone about this stream. I think it's a lot of fun to have you guys here. And I just really appreciate everyone watching. Like I said, though, we will be right back. There you go.
Now I get to
Take it away.
commentate Andrew.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, party people, we're back. Party people, yeah. Come on, this is a 4-box tournament. This is a party, if nothing else. Big party. All right, folks, this is Ryan here, filling in for AJ while he goes and lets his voice rest before the final round. We got Andrew and Tom on stream right now. Brute versus Mech, classic matchup in terms of, you know, nature versus machine, you could say. Tom also flexing his, I believe Tom is the only 4-0 tonight. Flexing his 4-0 streak with an Ironhide Helm. Classic days before I actually got myself a skull cap. And it looks like we're coming off, or starting this turn with a classic brute move. Barraging beatdown. Ooh, into a sand sketch. That's always fun. Getting the 2 extra action points to hopefully make some plays. Intimidate a few more cards, hopefully. Make the most out of that barraging beatdown. God, wouldn't it be perfect if he just intimidates the whole hand down to a single item and Andrew can't block with it? That'd be the dream. But if he's confident in playing the sand sketch, you know it's a guaranteed 2 actions from whatever he discards. At least that's I wouldn't risk it otherwise. See what he gets though. Hopefully he discards a beast within so he can get the extra card back. Not playing favorites here, by the way. But I do prefer Brute. Now, there it is. Perfect hit. The beast within is going to replace itself. Hopefully he doesn't lose too much health off of it. But then he's going to be left with a 3-card hand, 2 action points. Oh my god, and the first card's a Massacre. That's insane. Gets built-in Go Again on itself now, too. Oh my god. Yeah, he could literally just play the Massacre and then arsenal a card or something for the next turn. Oh, does he not have a blue pitch though? That sucks if he doesn't. He would need a Wrecker Romp since he played the Sand Sketch with those cards in hand. Yeah, this Barraging Beatdown is coming in for its full bonus damage. And he has 2 actions. Oh, well, no. You want to play Massacre and then swing... Oh, no, he doesn't have enough. Well, unfortunately, he can't make the most of the 2 action points, but... I mean, Massacre for almost a full hand intimidates with a total of... Because it gets the +2, 12 damage. 12 damage. Unfortunately for the Brute player, no item left in hand, but a sizable amount of damage for a first turn. Unfortunately, no Arsenal, but, you know, sneaking in, 9 damage turn 1 against a mech player? You gotta take every little advantage you get early, because if the mech player sets up a board and stresses you out, or fatigues you out, then it's very hard to come back from that. Yeah, that's right, turn 1, take 9. Classic play, classic play. Back in the days of Welcome to Wraith, that'd be like, what's it called? Every game kind of move. First move. People underestimate Intimidate on just even the basic cards like Smash Instinct and Pack Hunt. I always say that the base set cards for each class are always stronger than even the supplemental set cards. As nuts as some of those cards are, like Plasma Purifier, for example. Technically, the Induction Chamber itself from the base set is stronger for Mech, for example. And, you know, just the regular cards that you get from the base set that don't even need, like, extra flair behind them, they're so powerful on their own. That being said, I'm excited to see what supplemental cards we get for every class coming out with the next set. They did say it was for every class, so that means Shadow Brute's going to get some new stuff. Let's see if we can make it not trash. I certainly hope so. Or maybe we can make Ranger more viable, too. Both of those would be the dream for me, everybody. Are we showing off the cold foil Rosetta Thorn there? I need to get me one of those. I don't know what my longevity is for trying Briar myself after tonight, but I would love one of those. I believe that's Pedal to the Metal Blue, by the way, so that should only be coming in for 3? It will give the next move Dominates. I can't remember if it's the next boosted move or just next move that gets Dominate if he doesn't block. Nope, Zipper hit for 5. That's definitely a red. Yeah, this is a strong comeback turn for Andrew. I mean, that's the one downside to Intimidates, is that once you, especially on the first turn where it's Well, not especially in the first turn, sorry. That's the downside of Intimidates in general, is that if you leave them with a full hand, I mean, they're going to have a full hand to come back at you with. And with Brutes, there's no real disruption on board. All of it is just straight damage. The only way you can get disruption in Brutes, unless I'm forgetting something, is literally just either Command and Conquer or Pummel being put into the deck. None of their cards inherently have any other form of, like, on-hit disruption. 2 red barraging beatdowns 2 turns in a row, and a classic club swing, forcing Andrew to block with 2 cards, even if it goes straight down to 4 after that. So, always a beautiful trade for the Brute player when he only has to give up 1 card from his deck for 2 from theirs. Although for the mech player, that's actually not too bad either, because swinging with the gun will fatigue him out in the long run more than a club will. All Tom's going to have to hope is that he starts popping off with some Blood Rush Bellows, with Sand Sketch Plans, or just some more plays like he did turn 1 to close down, or to shut down the mech's health and options early, so that even they can't like afford to save too many cards to use the fatiguing strategy with items. Tom's definitely looking not to take any free damage early game. Ooh, a Tome of Findel too. That would have been a perfect card to Arsenal with the Scab Skins, giving him an extra action point down the line, even healing back some health from it. But the safe play is definitely just to straight up hit with the Riled Up or even just a Club Swing. Saving your health early against a mech before they have their board set up, and then swinging with enough pressure to try and get some cards out of their hands is definitely important. Yeah, even if he had Arc Smash already, I would not use it with 1 item on board. At least wait for the other induction chambers or purifier. I would honestly try and wait for another induction chamber, because like the purifiers are nasty, but only if the gun can swing multiple times. If the guns can't swing multiple times, then you're swinging for 4 with it. For 3, it's like an Anathos swing without the bonus damage at that point. Andrew doing the classic load up of the pistol to start his turn. You know, as strong as Core is, I never see like mechnologists play it like almost ever. Always opting to just ban or either block with it. No, you can't block with the Core. What am I saying? Either pitching it or, well, boosting it, which they don't really have a choice for, but you know what I'm saying. I don't see them playing it for its actual value. But if you're playing Fatigue Mech, like, you have so many blues in the deck, you really don't need that. You really don't need that for the resources, as you just try and block out to prevent your opponent from taking down your health early. Tom's deciding what he wants to do with his next turn, which is always important when you're a Brute player, because like choosing between going fully defensive for the turn or getting ready to make a play. If he starts defending, we can just expect another club swing, I would assume, unless he keeps 2 cards, in which case he can use an attack action of some sort. I don't suspect he has anything too crazy, though, if he's taking this long to decide. Even blocking out with the Alpha Rampage, yeah. Taking 2, unfortunately, but... Oh, and Spark of Genius to close out the turn. Andrew's been doing this a lot tonight, basically making sure he gets at least 1 boost move off before using it, so that he can also draw a card to get an extra arsenal, or get extra arsenal momentum for his next turn. Especially against Brute player, if you draw a defense reaction, that's immensely helpful in mitigating damage early against all those Intimidates. Yep, and there's the Purifier. Hopefully Tom, or hopefully for the Brute player, like I said, not trying to play favorites. Andrew's a good friend, and I want him to do well. But hopefully the Brute player has an Arc Smash so we can get those off board. Yes, the Purifier is always scary. Again, well, let's put it this way. It's really efficient the way he does it compared to other classes, but he can swing for 6 off of a blue pitch, basically. No, it would actually require one more preloading it to swing for 6. Basically, one on each of the items, firing after unloading the purifier, and then react. Yeah, you need at least 4 resources to hit for 6, so it's not like ultra oppressive. And there it is, the Arg Smash we've been waiting for. Oh, both of them go! I am incredibly surprised right now that Andrew's not playing Gambler's Gloves for this matchup, because the Arg Smash is such a momentum swing for the Brute player. You really want to make sure that if they get that off, especially early, you want to kind of like diminish the chance of that actually being useful. Honestly, Gambler's Gloves is just good against Brutes in general, like even if they want to use Scab Skins for like a game-winning turn. Just give them a reroll, hope they get a 1. It's free. Alright, Tom coming in. Unfortunately, just a club swing for 7 off the Blood Rush Bellow, but he does get to replace his arsenal at the very least, so nothing wrong with that. Especially after getting the Arg Smash for 2 of his items, he is sitting in a far more comfortable position right now. Yeah, but for Andrew, I mean, it's coming in for 7. You're a mech player. You just kind of block it out. Tom's already had to give up 2 cards to get this attack to go off. The Blood Rush Bellow itself and the card he had to discard for cost. So if he blocks for 2 cards and takes 1, he can just go into his turn with... Oh, is he looking to take the 7? Andrew might be thinking about going aggro here to make up for the fact that he doesn't have any items. I think... Oh, wait. Is that Purifier in his hand? I think that was a Purifier I saw. He might be looking to go aggro with some go again cards and then playing the Purifier at the end of turn to kind of like make up for the momentum he just lost. What is this? Oh, not High Octane. Oh, he whiffs on the... Oh, that's the worst. Magnologist players rarely play anything more than a few defense reactions and Tomes of Findel that aren't mech cards. And every time you hit that off the boot, one of those other things off the boost, it's like, wow, saved all the cards in hand just to end the turn right there. He most likely, to keep up momentum, or at least I would suspect there's a strong possibility, he might crack the Achilles Accelerator to go ahead and give himself the action point back. Yep, there it is. I know, yeah, you can't, after having a turn where you took all that damage from a easily blockable attack on Brute, you kind of have to commit to the momentum you're trying to use. Oh, he's going for it again? Okay. Alright, he boosts again. Unfortunately, it's only a blue zipper hit, so it's only coming in for 3, but at least he didn't whiff the boost this time, because that would have been... that loss of momentum and those extra cards from deck, that might be, like, game deciding at that point. Yeah, Tom did not take the damage yet from that first attack. He was already at 28, I believe. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now coming in for the 3 with the zipper hit, and I believe it has the card he played before gives it Dominate, but I mean, any Brute card blocks for 3 anyway, so 3 to 3, Dominate doesn't matter. I don't know, Tom. Let him burn out his deck a bit if you got a strong hand. I hope Andrew doesn't watch the VOD. It's going to make it seem like I'm rooting against him at this point. Oh, ending the turn with the Spark of Genius. There you go. Swiftly trying to recover. Yep, the Induction Chamber. And then drawing a card. Again, hopefully for him a defense reaction so he can make the most out of his arsenal slot for the next turn. Or maybe an item. You can put in an item there and then save 1 card to pitch for it. Make it so he gets the, well, basically trying to reset his board at this point. I'm sure I already know the answer at this point. I don't think he plays any Remembrances to recycle the items against Brute. I'm pretty sure once they're gone, they're just gone. You just kind of hope that he doesn't hit the good numbers to destroy multiple items at once. Alright, let's see what Tom took that damage for. Nope, that was a 1 on the Scab Skins right there. Oh no! Oh no! That's the worst case scenario against a mech player that just reset up an item. Oh, Tom's acceleration just went from 100 to 0 in 2 rolls. That's the worst. Holy crap. Well, Andrew's probably feeling very comfortable right now. Yeah, it's still early, thankfully, so it's not the end of the game, thankfully. It's not like Levia on last turn trying to banish to keep herself alive or something. But I mean, against... Like, here's the thing. Again, Mech relies on their weapon to fatigue a lot, but if you give them a full hand, they can boost you down like a maniac. So you never want to give them a full hand either. You want to make it so they want to defend. Yeah, at least the Tome is a perfect 2-for-2 block. I always hate blocking with cards that block for more than what I'm defending against, because then it just feels like it's extra defense that's wasted. Oh my... Alright, well I guess this is the best case scenario for Tom right now. Andrew had 2 maximum velocities in hand, which... I mean, he's definitely doesn't have... If he has both in hand, he's not going to have enough boosts for the turn to play it. And he's definitely... Or being a red pitch card, he's not going to get the most out of it when he's trying to load up his gun. Why would you... I gotta ask Andrew after this, why on earth would you play the maximum velocity against Brute? Is it just because it's another 3 block that's a boost? I'm sorry, not a boost card, that's a mech card for when you boost? Because honestly, I don't think that's enough for me to put it in. It's such a dead card otherwise, and you don't want you don't necessarily want dead cards in your deck. You want just as many. I'm sure he already plays as many blues, but if he has like, I actually don't know if he plays the magnetic shockwave, which is another blue defense for 3 mech card. I would cite it in instead of the maximum velocities in that case. There's like no way you get it off. Those are for the Prism matchup basically. Or unless you're just shoving every card in your deck that's mech related to go ahead and try and fatigue out. Oh, and Tom coming back with a pretty strong turn. Alpha Rampage, Double Intimidate. Rolling 3 1s in a row, Tom. I'm so sorry. That no one deserves that, man. Oh my god. I know it was just for the intimidation check or the intimidation randomization, but like rolling 3 1s in a row, especially on camera here. Oh, I feel that as a brute player myself. Unless one of those is an item, he's most likely just going to block. Yep, block for 6. Squeezing in as much damage as you can when you can as the brute, and hoping they can't clap back with with anything too intense. If I had to guess what they were just talking about, probably Tom venting his frustration at all the ones he's rolled just now. Possibly not, but you know I would be. Zero to 60. Probably one of the best, like in a weird way, just one of the best cards that Mech has to play because it's just a free cost card that has the boost that can get your combo started for the turn. Especially if you still have the Achilles Accelerator and you want to do like a fancy play with like Tome of Findel or something. You usually want to save that for high octane turns, of course, but still 0 to 60, just getting it or getting the turn started with a strong attack with Gogan. Definitely something you play. What's it called? 6 of in Data Doll if you ever want to try her out. I don't recommend it. Very sad considering she's such a cool looking character with a cool ability, but you'd probably be hurting yourself more than your opponent playing her. And Andrew is passing now. Not even choosing to fire the gun, he could be saving that for later. Try and get off more damage on a single turn. Four 1s in a row. Tom, get a different dice. Holy crap. That is insane. 4 ones. I think he rolled a 3 on one of the Alpha Rampage Intimidates, but still. 4 out of 5 dice rolls being ones as a brute, that's nightmare fuel. Oh, terrible. At least he didn't try and go for it. Nope, yep. 5 out of 6! 5 out of 6 ones! That's... I don't even know. I don't know what else to add to that. That's ridiculous. Thankfully, none of those were for scab skins, but good god. I would probably just let Andrew just finish the job at that point if I had been rolling ones for a couple turns in a row as scab skins. Ooh, Andrew's looking to keep his entire hand now. He might be going for a high octane. He's at the arsenal slot for a while now, so it's not a defense reaction. He could be in possession of a good high octane turn now with Toma Findel in the arsenal. If he does, yeah, big turn incoming indeed. Yeah, ooh, no, he's playing the arsenal. Well, it is high octane, so technically we're still right here. No Toma Find or no Toma Findel unless he has it in his hand, which is still good to use like a leftover resource to replace itself and draw a card on a high octane turn. The more boosts you get and the more resources you get to just load gun for with the action points over and over and over again, it's like it's pretty free there. Successful boost, going for the... You know what Andrew could do too if he's... I mean, if he has enough resources to make it worth it, he could load up a Purifier right now with the extra action points and still fire the gun a couple times. Nope, going for the... I need to memorize some of these other mech cards. I forget which one that one is. I think that's High Speed Impact. No, yeah, it's High Speed Impact. Okay. So if this one hits, it's going to give his next attack Dominates. So unfortunately, we know that his... what is it called? Maximum velocities are at the bottom of deck because he got all 3 of them like a few turns in a row. So no crazy 10 damage turn with a high octane today, but he's still got 2 cards in hand, 1 resource floating. He's probably gonna activate the Teklo Heart and get a few more. Or with his 3 action points and the go again on the induction chamber, he could just fire the gun 4 times. Kind of a waste at that point. Hopefully he has something more interesting. Honestly, on these high octane turns, no matter what class I'm playing, I would just opt to just block it all. Magnologist might get some momentum off of that, but like, there's no way most classes could even hit back as hard as a Magnologist with like a fully optimized like high octane turn. There's just no way. Okay, not no way, but like you'd have to have a pretty good setup in some specific cards for most classes to keep up with that kind of damage on a single turn. Especially if he did have like the Purifier out or something like that. Yep, pew pew pew. Yep, there's another blue. Yep, another 2. Someone should put that on a shirt. Pew pew pew, here comes another 2. It's a good Magnologist shirt, I think. Maybe I'll make it for Andrew himself for his birthday. He'd probably appreciate that. No one tell him, though. I don't think he watches these VODs, so it's fine. It's still a surprise. And there goes the turn. So, Tom electing to keep at least 1 card in hand, probably just a pitch for the club or whatever is in Arsenal. Good to at least keep on the pressure and start chipping away at the health, while Andrew has a very weak board state in terms of Magnologist items. Yeah, Tom grabbed the club for a second. Is he thinking about something else? Yeah, I'm definitely feeling, and I don't blame him. Like, here's the thing: I get salty while I play. I don't ever get salty at the other player for doing what they can to go ahead and win. I only ever get salty at like either my deck or my luck for just like, you know, just screwing me over in some way. A couple turns tonight, I drew into so many red hands against either Lexi that was giving me a bunch of ice tokens, or just drawing a bunch of reds when I had a defense reaction that needed payment, so that just wasn't working out. Just a lot of bad luck, even though I made sure to put in a fair amount of blues and yellows in my deck. Okay, so he's electing to play the Barraging Beatdown to hopefully get something out of his hand that would be more optimal to defend with before swinging with the club and basically forcing 2 cards out of his hand if he doesn't want to take a big chunk right here. Now, Andrew's at 14 health. Most people know that's very close to almost guaranteed kill range for Brute on a good turn. The only reason why you'd ever want to keep a full hand with 8 damage incoming at this point is because you know you're going to do more than 13 damage and start forcing a few cards out of the Brute's hand before they get back to their turn. But yeah, Andrew going for the optimal play, just blocking it out. Keeping cards in hand and just ready to pew-pew a few times. But yeah, like I said, we counted on stream here. There was at least 5 out of 6 dice rolls in a row where he rolled 1s. Thankfully, most of them were just intimidate rolls, but good God, man. I would literally be throwing out those dice if I was the Brute player. No room for weakness in our dice rolls. We have to keep buying them until we get the magically loaded dice of some sorts. Yeah, I don't think he has a high octane or tome. He might have tome just waiting, but if he doesn't have the high octane with it, especially since he doesn't have the Achilles accelerator, like, I mean, he's just gonna save it for now. You gotta wonder what's in Tom's. Okay, so he's blocking out too. Okay. Honestly, when it comes to, and I know we've said it a lot on this channel before, with equipment blocks, you can wait until like the last second for damage most of the time when those come through. Like if he took the 2 damage now versus blocking with the scab skins later, there's nothing that would stop him from blocking with the scab skins later. So the 2 damage here then is going to be the same. But I guess against Magnologist, it's all the same either way because they don't have any particular on-hit effects you care about. Although saying that, Andrew does still have the Goliath Gauntlet and probably a few Command and Conquers in deck, so Tom's definitely going to have to look out for that. All he needs is 2 cards left in hand to swing for 8 with no defense reactions. The fact that Mech has literally no better items to play, or equipment to play for their gloves, besides Gambler's Gloves against Brutes, which I think would be a better play. The fact that the only other choice, like the only other rational choice is basically Goliath Gauntlet is just funny to me. Like, you think the Mechnologist would have those before they would have something like the Achilles Accelerator or something. Like, something with their hands to represent, like, tools or technology or something. I feel like that would have made more sense than the Achilles Accelerator to me. Andrew decided to keep a full hand and just take the club swing from last turn. Oh, yep, there's the Goliath Gauntlet break. Ooh, what's coming? It could be a throttle, actually. Yep, there it is, throttle. I called it. He wouldn't use that so early unless he was like sure that he was going to do a few other things with Go Again first. But yeah, he's definitely using throttle with Go Again. That's so strong right now. Tom could block with 2 cards at least to get the most optimal defense without wasting it for the other attacks incoming, but God, that just feels bad. So yeah, I did say it was funny that Goliath Gauntlets was the only like viable mech card for a glove slot when you're not trying to use extra null rune, but it's definitely effective. And 0 to 60 to top it off too. Funny enough, Andrew's deck has got to start looking a little thin here. I almost wonder if Tom could, in a reverse change of roles with the item board, like, kind of broken. Oh no, Tom's keeping his hand. He's got 10, it's 10-1 right now. Tom's got 3 cards in hand and a barraging beatdown to start. This is technically kill range against a brute. 10 health, it's doable.
Must be a Blood Rush turn. I'm back, by the way. Yeah, I totally agreed.
Hey, he's
Gotta-
back.
It's gotta be a Blood Rush turn.
Oh my god, another one! He's rolled like 7 ones on stream.
That was just an.
I know, no, but he's rolled
Yeah.
7 ones with that dice. Like, oh my god, within the past couple turns. He rolled 2 in a row on his gambler's gloves.
Oh, there's the Blood Rush.
Yep, there it is. Yep, this is, I think this is game.
This could be very much B game.
Dude, imagine he just swings club to BM.
And I don't know if you guys, I don't think I announced top 8 or top 4. The other 2 was a Briar mirror match, and Evan actually
it
took
is the
that
club
one.
swing. Damn. Tom's luck tonight is, on at least in this game, has been absolute trash. He draws 2 extra cards and doesn't at least draw like an attack action he could play, like Pack Hunt or something, to intimidate the last card. Honestly, oh, and it's a tome. It's
Oh wow,
that
it's
is
a
game.
tomb. That's game. And I think there's an item in the arsenal.
There has. I want to see. Andrew
I'm pretty sure it's a plasma purifier.
Oh my god,
I
he's been
saw it
holding
before
that
I
for
walked
so
out.
many turns. He held that for so many turns, though. Well. Yep,
Yeah,
there
exactly.
it is.
It's a plasma purifier. So your final will be a rematch. Actually, I don't know. Oh yeah, it is a rematch. It wasn't on stream, but it is Evan on Briar
Mhm.
and Tom on Brute. What a great final coming up for you guys, and we'll be able to the first match is already concluded, so we were just waiting on this one. So we should be able to fire the next match relatively quickly. I'll leave Ryan talking to you as I set them up. But yeah, so you have a Brute in the finals. Who knows? Maybe this is what we see in Nationals tomorrow.
God, I
Who
hope
knows?
so. God, I hope so. That would be so interesting seeing Brute make it out this far. Everyone considers the Brute the underdog, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
But maybe,
kind of always has been.
yeah, because it's like, Intimidates are cool, but like, they don't do anything special. Maybe I should stop quitting on Brute as soon as I see something else shiny in this game. I should just stick with the good old reliable Brute. I say reliable after Tom rolled like 7 ones on that dice. Yeah, honest to God, hopefully we see more Brutes in the tournament over the weekend, because, like I said, despite the dice rolls that are included with it, Brute, when you play it right, is honestly one of the most reliable classes to play in the game for consistency. It's very simple. It's very, you could say it's kind of Brute-like, where it's very simple-minded to some extent, but I mean, hey, if it works, it works. Hey, thank you, Steven. Glad you could join us. Man, I'm just thinking about what I should do for tomorrow, to be honest, guys. Honestly, leaning towards Oldham, because if the top deck right now is just like dumpster, zero cost to go again attack Briar, honestly, Oldham is them give up a card to severely weaken their turn. But he also has the biting, I think it's called Biting Gale, the defense reaction, that when you fuse, it forces them to either pay 2 or discard a card. Is it discard a card, or is it put it on the bottom? I need to read that card again. But since the Briar player is playing so many reds, there's no way they don't give up a card in one way or another. I think it is discarding, though. So, discarding a card in the middle of their turn when they've already crafted it or thought about it, it's so devastating to an aggro deck to be able to disrupt them during their own attack phase. Usually disruption can be seen ahead of time because it's set up while you're the attacker, but Oldham's just built different. And I think that might be one of the counters that put in the work, but it's like a terrible rock, paper, scissors. Prism has such a consistent matchup against Guardians, and then the Guardians would have more consistent matchups against Briar, and then Briar would have a consistent matchup against Prism, it seems like, from what I've seen so far. So we might have like a rock, paper, scissors situation going on with Briar versus Prism versus Guardian in the finals this week, or in the Nationals this weekend. I don't know, Andrew, what do you think?
I don't know. Tom on Reinar was wild.
Bro, you had so much flexibility after he rolled all those ones,
Oh,
dude. He
dude.
rolled one. Not even just the Gambler's Gloves turn for the actual what matters rolls. All those Intimidate rolls that he did, he rolled so many ones on those too when he was deciding what card to Intimidate out of your hand. Dude rolled like 7 out of 9.
The die itself was crazy, like all the time. And then he was like, okay, so you live here, and you're gonna have 3 cards left in hand. And I was like, no, I don't. I have the one tome left in my deck. I was like, this is...
Dude, Tome screwed you over twice in that game. You banished it off the top for one of your boosts, so you had to crack the Achilles, and then it's your last card in hand to defend to try and live for the last turn. Honestly, if it was any other card, and honestly, Tom had such bad luck off that draw, only swinging in with club. Like if he drew like a pack hunt or any other just attack action he could have used, that would have been
more pressure.
a close second. Yes, folks, we are playing for a first place gets an entire box of Tales of Aria or Crucible.
Or Crucible.
Technically, a very sought after.
There's that
set
one
right
again. That one again. Oh my goodness.
I swear to God, AJ? Oh my God!
This is nuts.
Turn 1 red barraging into red alpha rampage and a beast within, so he can arsenal a card. Are you kidding me?
This is literally the deck that doesn't matter whether it goes first or second. It says we're gonna take cards out of your hand, and so you can block with 1 card. You're gonna draw an extra card next.
And he gets Massacre off the first one.
That is insane.
Oh, that's so good for Tom. Holy crap!
I would think he would save that master in hand.
Evan only has a 2 block. Oh, Briar taking a hard hit turn 1.
11 damage.
And honestly, Briar wants to try. You know what? That's best case scenario for card that he has to defend with. Dude, Plunder Run is such a snowbally card for aggro Briar. So if you can force them to defend with that during their first turn, they may draw up to replace it. But good God, they'll never see. They probably won't see it again for the rest of the game. And here comes the lightning ball.
Imagine not triple intimidating. I mean, that's just the name of the game. It's Intimidate City here. Oh, there's the other Massacre. So he's still got. Look, what's great about Massacre is it's itself still intimidates. So you still at least
if you have the discard requirement.
Yeah.
So it's still it's very close to Alpha Rampage and how it works, except that it doesn't have the discard for cost on itself. So if you've done it early in the turn, like for a Blood Rush, for example, then you get the basically get like a mini Alpha Rampage that, you know, it just works a little more efficiently towards the end of your combo. Unfortunately, no bonus here. It's just swinging for 6. And unfortunately, I think, was that all 3 Massacres? I know he blocked with 1. Did you block with 2 just now? No, not 2.
I don't think so.
Not 2. But still, 2 Massacres out of 3 gone in the first 2 turns. Not the best. And yep, and Evans just electing to take it.
It's just a vanilla 6 at that point, but it swings for more than the club. So it's an extra 2 damage that squeaks in that later in the game if he gets him down to 2 and he just reckless swing.
Yeah. Once again, folks, Evan is one of my homies, but I am definitely looking to see how Reinar clubs down Briar in this matchup. Oh.
Get that
embodiment. Already starting strong with embodiment from Plunder Run. And Entwine Lightning. This is a 10 card attack, or a 10 damage attack.
And he doesn't even have to fuse because it just automatically gets the embodiment, so.
Is now the time to crack the Iron Rot? 3 cards in an Iron Rot to block 10? Probably not.
You want your prize support?
Yeah, go get your prize support, you cute. Open it on stream so we can...
Open it on stream.
Yeah, open it on stream. We'll see what you get.
We'll play after. We gotta watch it.
Ooh, nice. Okay, so Tom having the defense reaction to get him that extra defense to fully block the 10. And E-strike.
For more than likely 7.
I
I would have got like
I
maybe
don't
to
know.
draw a card.
Oh no, hang on. I was gonna say, or well, so Evan could have gone for the go again, expecting to draw off of this. But if Tom has a defend 3 in the Scabskins, he could have blocked it out. Tom is electing not to though. Tom wants to make sure he has a card in hand at the end of each turn, just to what's the word I'm looking for? Swing with club and constantly put down that little bit of pressure he can. Yep, there it is.
Keep that gap that he has. So just continue to do a little bit. It's almost like playing Ninja. You're just Kadachi, and then
Is that a double nimbleism snatch in Evan's hand? That's disgusting. And a plunder run, I think. Good God. Yep, there's the 4. Honestly, if Tom can try and keep his health up as long as possible and keep still clubbing him down, he'll get to the point where he can just take off of defending for a turn and just be like, well, now you die.
this is his tunic turn though, so we'll see what happens.
Alright, Plunder Run coming from hand, so no bonus damage, and a Ball Lightning. I'm honestly underwhelmed. Like, I get that it does the bonus effect, but, like, I'm honestly underwhelmed by Ball Lightning, dude.
So here, basically, Evan's trying to pull a card from Tom's hand, so that way he doesn't block his next attack. So see, he's got the nimbleism, so it's gonna get the embodiment.
Good. Evans is very good at keeping track of his tokens and triggers.
Yeah,
Yep, there's
we got the snatch for
bonus.
7. So that forces him to.
Hey, there's the Ironhide Hell, or not Ironhide, that's Iron Rot.
Mm-hmm.
The classic. Yep, here it comes. Tom flexing on us today with just the Iron Rot helm.
When the armor's only $200, definitely not worth buying.
Tom probably should have let that go through. Arcana Crackle does not do much, and yes, Evan would have
It comes
drawn.
in for 3.
Yeah, no, that's not much. But he had no go again unless he wanted to crack the Snapdragons, which he could have.
I think at this point Tom's just trying to mitigate as much damage as possible and still keep that gap, just swinging the club.
Oh,
basically
hang on, Chris is outside. Can you go tell AJ that Chris is outside? Yeah, hang on, Chris. Give us a second. Sorry about that, folks. AJ's got some company coming in, but he's not here on stream right now to see it. Wait a minute, is Tom's not playing any. Oh, here it comes. 2 action points for the turn. Yeah, no problem, Chris. Glad to see you're here. Also, good idea, jumping onto the stream to get the message across. Ooh, Tom healing a ton with that tome. Using the tunic counter to make sure he keeps a full hand for the most health possible. Oh, there's so much potential behind this turn for Tom, depending on what he drew. Yep, barraging beatdown. He was bound to get at least one of those. Very surprising if he didn't. God, if he has a Blood Rush 2 or a Sand Sketch plan to use multiple attacks, that'd be insane. Yeah, I was gonna say, Evan, I just complimented your triggers. Don't miss it. Sting of Sorcery. Good. Wait, he kept the hand for all this? That's crazy. I would have defended with some of this. No fusion, so this is just coming in for... He's got the Captain's Call, so that's +2. So if at maximum, it's 9 damage plus 1 Arcane. Yeah, we got to make sure we keep track of those triggers for this weekend, especially after what happened in the UK. There was a lot of rumors going around there, but we're not gonna talk about that more on this stream. Let's focus on Evan and Tom here. So like I said, this is 9 physical and 1 arcane damage. Tom has to take the arcane, which actually works very well in Evan's favor if Tom decides to go nuts with an alpha rampage, but only intimidates a certain amount of cards. If it's a non-attack action and Evan gets enough tokens, he could defend a sizable amount with that. I doubt that's gonna happen. I don't know what Evan's last card in hand is, but he decided not to defend with anything to reduce even a little bit barraging beatdown damage last turn. Alright, there it is. Tom blocking the 9. Scar for Scar, and then it's going to go into a Tunic. Or, sorry, not Tunic. Tunic into a Sword Swing. Yep, sword 2 and 2. Tom blocked with his whole hand because Evan. The one thing about Runeblade is that you can't rely on these kind of like full hand turns all the time. So all Tom has to do is wait for a opportunity. Like he still took a sizable amount of damage for the turn, but all Tom needs to do is either like wait till he knows he has the kill hand, or wait until Evan like whiffs on a decent turn, which he might. I don't know by his hand motions there. He's got a Ravenous Rabble, though, so that's already a starting card with Go again right there. And Ball Lightning off the top. That could be any color, actually. I think.
I think it's red.
Is it, though? Because I know, I have a feeling that Briars play, like, the full 9 line.
It's a card with Go again, and but possibly gets in more damage, so it's definitely not a bad idea.
But blocks for 0. Well, they don't block anyway, so yeah, blocking for 0 don't matter none. Just no blocks. That's why I think Oldham's. Oh my god, another Ravenous Rabble. It was definitely a Reds because he did 4 damage. Oh no, he only did 2 damage. Yo, he only did 2 damage. Yeah, because Tom didn't block. Yeah, that was a blue. That was a blue Ball Lightning. Literally worst case scenario. Ooh, fate foreseen for a clean defend of 4 on that Lightning Surge. The Arsenal is a plunder run. I remember seeing it in his hand while Evan was flashing it around. Tom has all but 1 card in hand. Ooh, just coming in with the straight 7 with Intimidate. Honestly, though, Evan needs to start respecting these attacks, because if he gets, like... Honestly, if he gets any lower than he is right now, then he's just going to die to 1 full hand card combo.
Tom has such a cushion that
He does.
he can do so much.
Okay, Evan's starting to respect it with the what's it called? The embodiment of Earths that he has. So defend for 8, fully blocking it. Sting a sorcery into Ball Lightning. So he's taking the 2 because the what's it called?
Ball Lightning.
Ball Lightning's bonus damage. Evan doesn't have a Tunic counter up, so this turn ends here if he just blocks with 1 card. So Tom has the comfort of blocking with either 1 card, or if he has the hand to end the game, you can just save it.
Barraging
I believe that's the one damage Ball Lightning too. It's only gonna do 2 damage.
Yeah. Double Barraging Beatdown, Alpha Rampage from Arsenal for game.
Yeah.
That's literally all you gotta do.
That's the game. It's possible. Wait, no. Evan's got some armor. Evan's got 5 armor there.
But if it's double red Barraging Beatdown, that's
plus 8 to 9. So that would be 17. Yeah, that wouldn't be enough. If it was both red Barraging Beatdowns, but it's not. So. Oh
17. Well. So that's 2.
I think Tom did the right move here.
No, that's enough. That's enough.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, if it was both reds, yes, yeah. But it wasn't because he had the Savage Beast there. Ooh. Starting off with a lesser used card in its actuality, but still used for the blue and defend 3 in brute decks.
It also naturally intimidates.
Yes, so it's +1 guaranteed. Into the pack hunt for another intimidate. So that's 7 damage and 2 intimidates coming in. It's a pretty decent turn. Evan's gonna have to, like I said, either defend out. Oh no, he's not. There is no way Evan has 18 damage for his turn right now. He has a plunder run, sure. But, like, oh, this is going to be a tough decision.
He's coming on his Tunic turn, though, so.
That is true.
See how we do it?
Oh my god, really? Ugh.
So much bonus damage. That 1 Arcane.
Arcane damage. So it's coming in for 4. This is only coming in for 7 plus 3 if that's a red plunder run, so 10.
Dude, it also has Go again, and he also will draw a card if it hits.
Yeah. People say that this kind of stuff with Briar is nuts, but I mean, look at how many cards he had to have in hand just to do 10 damage with the possibility of drawing 10. Or drawing a card.
There are those Barraging Beatdowns.
Drawing 10 cards. Barraging Beatdowns, he definitely has the defense reaction. You never let the first hit go through.
Yeah.
Lightning Surge. The Lightning Surge did not come from Arsenal, so, I mean, he's got no more Go again except on the Snappies. Snippy Snappies. What is that from? Bioshock? Yeah, it's a Bioshock line.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta take those Snippy Snappies. Yeah.
if he lets it hit here, it may not be terrible to do the Snapdragon.
No, Evan is most certainly using the Snapdragon.
Okay.
Oh no. Okay. Oh no, because Evan knows
Mr.
that.
Lockwood, thank you so much gifting that sub there.
Hey, MVP tonight. Unless someone else did it too, which AJ was on stream.
So if you think about it,
Y'all MVPs in my book.
if you think about it, when Evan gets those embodiments, most of the time Tom blocks with his whole hand, so he's just gonna draw up. So then half the time those embodiments don't do much.
He doesn't block anyway. Who cares? God. See, the good thing about what
Take one.
See,
There you
Evan's
go.
okay with what happened last turn though, which is why he didn't snap the or crack the Snapdragons yet, is because he knows that Tom doesn't have a full hand or a hand of anything to attack back because he
Mhm.
defended with everything.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like a defense with the snatch and the card from hand. Tom's got, like I said, still a very comfortable buffer right now. Evan is thinking long and hard about what. Yep, no attack reaction, so Evan's looking
Arsenal.
to save. Is that? Did he put the Plunder Run over the Lightning Surge? Because Lightning Surge gets go again on its own if he plays it from Arsenal.
With
So
the Plunder on buffs, though.
yeah, but come on, man. You got the go again and going wide with multiple attacks instead of a single attack is so much
Is
better.
this the one that has go again if it discards?
Nope, this is just the one that swings for 7 off 1 resource.
Oh, that's right.
So a pretty damn good attack actually, because he could use a tunic counter for it and just discard the other card. Blocking 4, taking 3. What is he doing? Reckless swing is a thing. You have to stay at 3 health against Brooder. You're dead.
Always respect the swing.
Oh my
Always.
god, dude! What if Tom has an arsenal? What if he's had an arsenal the whole time? I know he
Let's
pitched
see.
I know he pitched it earlier, but he did shuffle his deck when he.
He also does have 3.
Oh wow, look at that! He only got 1 hit off that Sonata, even though he got to look at an extra card. I guess to pick one of those cards, one of those attacks, though. But yeah, again, there's
Which
no
one?
way the. Okay, so
Question
Tom.
is, do we go with the E-Strike for the bigger damage?
Yes,
Or...
you absolutely go for the E-Strike.
Yeah, because the ball lightning's like very minimal, and you can Snapdragon it.
Well, you can Snapdragon the E-Strike. Ball Lightning doesn't need it. But here's the thing. I know Tom, just because of what he told me, he only plays 1 Reckless Swing.
Yeah,
Which is not terrible.
It makes the deck more clunky if you just draw into it.
I know. I like playing at least 2, but good God, if I draw into both, I have an aneurysm.
Well, if you think about it this way, you'll never draw both at the same time if you only play 1, because you can only draw 1.
Exactly. And if you save it, which hopefully you can, then you can save it till the end game. Get that cheeky win off 2 damage. This is still disgusting. Alright, blocking. Oh, hello. Oh!
Reckless swing for game!
Yeah!
There
You
it
got an
is.
arsenal! Oh. Good job, Evan, getting this, getting to the finals, but Tom takes it with a perfect streak today on Brute. Oh, I'm gonna need to message him for his list, because it's gonna be between Reiner or Oldham for this weekend for me now, because I did not get enough practice with Briar to be comfortable with my build on that.
Reiner's your original, so...
And I was saying early on
Fellow
stream,
Brute
Reinar is just very comfortably consistent.
Yes.
Like, there's very little you can do to, mess up Reinar plays. Oh my god, though. Oh, that's so good.
What's crazy is people don't expect Reinar to be as controlling as it is. And Tom really has the ability to take turns off and then just go for the game.
You know what I think? Oh, yeah.
It's one of those things where it's similar to Guardian in that aspect, but at the same time, you're going to guarantee damage because your opponent has no hand. So, yes, they are going to come back, but you're also going to be blocking it out. So, it's one of those things where Tom was talking to Tom after the game. He's like, the deck is a very good comfort for him because he can go either way and still come out on top, especially since you see it now. I mean, Tom's only been playing this game for, I want to say, 2 months now, and he's already gone back to a Welcome to Wraith hero, and he basically swept the whole tournament. Well, he did sweep the whole tournament. So, congrats to Tom. Something where more to come from him. Hopefully, he can do well in the calling because he wasn't able to qualify for Nats because, of course, he's only been playing for a few months. But It's gonna be very curious to see what happens. It's something where I was thinking about it before. Reiner isn't a terrible idea if you play it properly. It's all about the palette, honestly.
Yeah, the only problem is that it does have a very shaky Guardian matchup, and unfortunately, Guardian is very prevalent. I think we didn't have a single Guardian here tonight.
We didn't have a single Guardian or Prism.
Dude, that's freaking awesome. Dude, that's a variety here. Although Briar is now the one that's like the face of, like I was mentioning earlier, and it was when you were walking in. Rock, paper, scissors, Prism, Guardian, and Briar, basically. That's what I'm seeing this weekend. Reinhardt good against two of those matchups.
You think Guardian has the ability to beat Briar?
Yes.
So
well, it's just like we saw. Guardian is better at fatiguing out than Reinhardt is. Like, here's the thing that makes fatigue decks work in this game. You have to have a reliable weapon is the main thing. If you don't have a reliable weapon, like 2 pokes from a Kodachi or a weapon that swings for base 4 damage, I don't think you can control the game as much as, as much as any other class could. Like, Viserai has a weapon, but if you're using Nebula Blade, it requires you to hit with a certain, or use a card first before you can even swing for its potential damage. What's it called? Dorinthia. Hang on a second. Yeah. Dorinthia has this weapon that swings for 3, but that only gets 1 card out of hand without using all those buffs and attack reactions on, which burn through your deck pretty fast. What am I doing? Hang on. How do I switch this camera? Gosh dang it. AJ didn't show me what to do. Oh well, we'll keep it on the pretty Ira map for now. Yeah, we're gonna try and get Tom in here for a quick interview because I would like to talk to him about his deck. And let's just throw it out there again, dude. He flexed on everyone tonight with an Iron Rot helm, and he still took it home. Dude deserves that full box. Full box of Welcome to Aria, or Welcome to Aria, Tales of Aria box. Hopefully he gets the legendary from the box in there, or maybe even a Corsham. But hang on tight 1 second, guys, and I'm gonna go see if I can bring him in here. 1 second.
All right, I am here with Tom, the winner of the 4-box tournament. He got to walk away with an entire box of Tales of Aria.
Why are we so?
Yeah. Sorry, dude.
Assuming.
Yeah. So he got to walk away with an entire box of Tales of Aria. I just want you to walk me through, like, what made you bring Brute today? Like, what was the big decision? You're like, I'm gonna bring Brute. I think this is the play.
I've been trying to work out an Ice Lexi list, and it just hasn't been working. So I went back to what I'd practiced before that, which is Rhinar. I also feel like there's a lot of catastrophizing going on in the internet. Lightning Bar isn't that crazy. You just have to know when to block it, and your opponent, like, I mean, this game is designed around mathematics, so there's no way that this deck could be a thing and just outmath everything, because the developers would be much worse. And we know they're good, so like, yeah. That's why I think she's not crazy.
Yeah, I think with Chain, we kind of have like PTSD a little bit from Runeblades, where the math was crazy on Chain, where like you just couldn't, unless your deck was completely designed to beat Chain. Even then, it still lost sometimes to Chain. Whereas I totally agree with you. Like, Briar has a lot less of that like unpredictability,
Yeah.
where it's like
Yeah.
they still have the cards in their hand. That's what they're working with. So
Yep. And the thing is, like, every turn they want to be arsenaling a plunder run. So if they don't put a card in their arsenal, like, or if they're not signaling that they're going to put a card in their arsenal, then you know what they're doing. It's
Right.
It's actually like really easy to play against, in my opinion.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, assuming you built your deck correctly and most of it blocks for 3 and you have defense reactions, then
Right. The other elemental decks have a harder time because
Yes.
a lot of the elemental and
Yeah.
non-attack action cards block for 2.
they really do.
So
Like Viserai against Lightning Briar, you probably lose every match because they're just faster.
all the non-attack actions too.
Yeah,
just
they
block
block
for
for 2.
2 and
Yep.
just don't feel good.
Yep. Also, going first as Reinar doesn't hurt because I did
Intimidates.
like 9 that game.
I think you did 11.
11.
I
We're
think
gonna
you did
11 on
11.
turn 1. Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah. But I mean that's like the upside of the deck. It doesn't have on-hit effects, but it has evasion, which is like really underrated. I don't think players realize how good it is to have your opponent not know what they're blocking with until they have to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, well that's it, man. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the Tales of Aria box, and you went undefeated today.
Yeah, yeah. 6
Did not drop a single round, and that's a lot. So this is the deck you're gonna be playing.
Yeah, probably. I mean, there's like, okay, so it's a budget list. You saw I don't have
Yeah,
Skullcap
don't
up
have
there.
Skullcap.
Don't have Skullcap. I don't have CNCs. So it like changes the complexion when you don't have Command and Conquer.
Part of me is like, I don't know. I felt like you didn't even need them.
You don't even need it. Okay, so like that's the thing. Efficient attacks and like having turn cycle calculations just kind of in your head.
Yeah.
Knowing when you're gonna deal more damage than your opponent. Like, here's another thing, right? People think Blood Rush Bellow is the best card in Brute, maybe even the game.
I mean, it seemed pretty good.
Blood Rush Bellow is
today.
very good. Without claws, it seems not so good, but actually it is. It essentially is a yellow barraging beatdown that doesn't cost you a card because it draws you the 2.
Right.
Especially if you use a tunic counter, right? Then it really
it's
doesn't cost you a
plussing,
card.
yeah.
Then it's plussing you. So barraging beatdown we know is insane. So if you can think of Blood Rush Bellow as like a yellow barraging beatdown that draws you a card, yeah, it's a really good non-attack action still.
All right. Well, congratulations one more time, and thank you for the little interview. And good luck at nationals tomorrow.
I'm not playing. I don't have a Nats
You
invite.
don't have the Nats
so-
invite. Are you gonna play at the calling?
Yeah, I'm gonna be.
Yeah. So good luck at the calling, and
Thank
it
you.
was great to have you here, and you've been a great addition to our community. So thanks,
Appreciate it,
thanks a
man.
lot, man.
Thanks.
Good job, Tom.
Night, guys.
And that is gonna do it for us tonight.
Respect the backhand. I like it.
And that is gonna do it for us tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. We were out for like since 6 o'clock. It's been 5 hours of streaming. A lot of great rounds today. A lot of good players. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you guys if you stuck around. Drop the follow if you haven't already. Drop the sub if you want to. And I just really